228CX, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan.
What in the hell do you think you are doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody who wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
And again, it's picked off. It's Darius Leonard. A pick six for the Maniac. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. Yes, sir.
Oh, the chicken. Double time.
Miles Turner. Yeah.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, cheers to you, everybody. We've already started at the legendary Slippery Noodle, or actually the Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Week number 8's coming up. You see Brent Halverson right before you. If you're watching via YouTube Live right here, you like him a lot better than I'm sure. If I grew a beard, maybe that would help. I'm not sure. But Brent's going to join me coming up in just a second. We got Week 8 coming up here at 4 o'clock. Of course, when we're in the house of Cappy's going to be here, and he's going to make those selections coming up at the 4 o'clock hour as well. We got that. We got Mike Chappel on the way, too. And we have a special announcement coming up with our friends from Waste Management and Aaron Johnson, who runs things. And I could not have been more proud. Matt Godbout, who's an awesome dude, reached out through John Griffin, who's with us at the Fan, and they're going to do something incredibly special on the field. Actually, what they're going to do is something they've been doing for the better part of 20-plus years. And they've been doing it for 20-plus years, and you see it every time you go to a game. You see it, and everybody cheers, and it's fun. But we're going to take it to a different level coming up on Sunday, and they are going to help out our friends, Margaret and the gang at Teachers Treasures. And you know what that does to my heart? It does my heart good when we can do something for Teachers Treasures. And Aaron is going to join us coming up here in about 10-plus minutes, and we'll make that official announcement, something you can watch for coming up on Sunday as well. All right, Colts, we'll get into that in a second. Sam Ehlinger, his first start coming up on Sunday. I know a lot of you still want to talk about that. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Been going back and forth today because yesterday, if you were listening, Kevin Bowen kind of sparked something with me conversationally, right? It was conversationally, and we both have opinions on it. And I'll get to that, maybe not so much right here, maybe dive into it a little bit, but certainly a little bit more later on. You get to thinking about where they are right now. And you get to thinking about them making this change and going from the guy that you brought in, that you, as much as you could do, handpicked to bring in to this situation. And then talk about how this is a next-level team now. And certainly at 3-3-1, this has not looked like a next-level team unless that next level was below what you thought that level was going to be. Right? But truth be told, you're still 3-3-1, and I mentioned this back when this decision was made on Monday. You have to do right by the organization, meaning you have to be smart, you have to be savvy. I get that part. But at the same time, I don't know if you already have sidestepped, when you think about it, like 31 other around the NFL cities right now would be suggesting what? When you go from the quarterback that, again, you brought in, you handpicked to bring in, to lead this team, and after 7 weeks you pull the plug. And I'm not suggesting there was certainly plenty of reason to do it. I'm just telling you what it looks like. And it looks like what we have discussed oftentimes this week. It looks like you're saying, hey, you know what? This team's waving the white flag. I think Trey Wingo had this on a podcast or whatever he does. Hey, the Colts are clearly waving the white flag. And I've told you this, if you really wanted to wave the white flag, you would have kept going with number 2 back there, because that was going to go nowhere. And it's not all his fault. when you're talking about a quarterback in the NFL, it turns out to be his fault. They get all the accolades when things go well, and when they don't go well, it's their ass. That is the nature of the game at that position. That's just the way that it goes. It's not like these guys go skipping into this and go, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen. A quarterback knows that the moment that that person is a quarterback. You know how that's going to go. You are always going to be the centerpiece for all the love, and you're always going to be the centerpiece for a lot of the discontent. We all know that it's not completely his fault. We all know where a lot of the situations, a lot of the shortcomings do lie. Offensive line, lack of offense altogether. We can lump them all in. We've gone over it. But you have to be very careful in doing this. And I said this earlier this week. You have to be very careful in not turning away a fan base, and especially if you sidestep it, because, again, normally, if you look around the NFL, you make a change like this, and most of these cities and most of these people that cover it are going to end up saying, hey, this team is tanking. I can tell you that organizationally they believe in Sam Ehlinger, even if I sit here and I'm ultra skeptical about it. They believe in Sam Ehlinger. Doesn't mean we have to. Again, I hope that it turns out great for Sam Ehlinger. I hope that something is much better with Sam Ehlinger. But I can't tell you that it's going to be because you had not seen him play other than the preseason. And it is a wide berth compared to what you saw in the preseason to what he's going to get. I mean, even against a team like the Commanders, where you're thinking, this team's not very good, whatever, it doesn't matter. They have a front four that will get after you without having to blitz. This Colts offensive line couldn't handle anything protection-wise so far. And everybody's kind of leaning on, well, at least he's going to be able to have some escapability. Hopefully so. But I'm not going as far as expecting him to take over and doing what this organization is talking about him doing. I do. I said this in a promo earlier this week. I hope this transitions into one of these Disney type of stories. Look what happened here. Look what this kid has gone through. Now, you look at him back at Texas. You look at him now. He's not the prototypical type of guy. He has worked ass off. This is what he's gone through, and this is who he is right now. And look what he did with that decision. I hope it turns out to be that. I just can't sit here and be honest with you and tell you that it's gonna. Now, we'll get into that with our Larceny Bourbon Locks coming up here at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. But you have to be really careful, very careful in not running away those that support you. What do you mean by that? Because there might be some that are anti this move and think that you're surrendering. I just told you that they don't feel that they are. They have said as much. They do have a belief in it, even if folks like me have to see it to believe it. They do believe in it. But others may think the contrary. You get very lucky because I think most everybody out there was ready for a change of any kind. You're probably not going to get this much love because the love has been robust. You probably don't get this much love if you decide to go to Nick Foles. Yeah, I mean, you can read the sense of the court of public opinion or the sense of the fan base right now, and nobody was going to be fired up if Nick Foles gets the football and goes out there and starts. Nobody was. But with Ehlinger, you get a bit of a little, wait a minute, you know what? He's not like the other two dudes. Maybe. Just maybe. So what you do is you sidestep what could have been major negativity for a team that's 3-3-1, and I mean absolutely buried right now within the division. I mean, basically your division games all but won or over before Halloween. So you have buried yourself within the division. But it doesn't feel like that a lot of these teams, other than Buffalo, and I'm sure Kansas City will probably get a little bit of momentum and start running too, but it doesn't look like a lot of these teams in the AFC are going to be capable of running away from anybody. And you do have the long season, and that has always been an argument here, the whole long season thing. Well, the season's long, and this is what this team does. That used to be the argument. I didn't like the argument. I didn't really dig the argument because it seems like, in the early season, you kind of know what's going on, too. Why don't you go ahead and get started earlier? But you've sidestepped the negativity of a lot of people saying, hey, this team is giving up right now when you're 3-3-1. And that's problematic because you're going to run people off doing that. And I think you have to be also equally careful in how you handle the trade deadline. You have to be really careful. And I'm assuming that, in a large part, what we see on Sunday is going to dictate coming up on Tuesday how they utilize the trade deadline. Listen, I can't remember the last time. It's been a long ago, right? As far as an in-season type of deal. But when that was brought up, Kevin and I were having that conversation yesterday. When that was brought up, I thought, man, you got to be really careful here. Because you still are 3-3-1. I know that they don't look like they're any good, and they don't look like that they can go anywhere. But remember part of the argument about this team, if you had a slow start or teams that they've had in the past with a slow start, it's, it's not like anybody else is going to run away from you. So the rest of the division, not in this case, but the rest of the AFC may very well surprise you and fall back. Because you could probably trust that more than a lot of these AFC teams either hanging on if you're the Jets or being able to sustain if you're a team that's Tennessee, for example. Tennessee's not anything great. They are when they play the Colts. When they play the Colts, they beat them down. They out-coach them. They out-grind them. They out-tough them. But to the rest of the NFL, that is a beatable bunch. So you got to be careful. You got to be really careful. And here's why I say that. You got to be careful not to give out any signs. You keep this momentum that you have right now because normally everybody would have gone, oh, hell, let's just go ahead and not worry about going. But instead, on Sunday, you got everybody excited about seeing this. And you got everybody excited about looking at a phantom. You don't even know if this exists yet. All you know is if you hear people talk about Sam Ehlinger, you notice that they never really talk about his play. They talk about his leadership. They talk about his effect on the locker room. They talk about the trust that everybody has. Well, I hope the organization has trust in him because the owner said, you need to start this guy and bench this other guy. So they don't know either. But they've really done a good job of presenting this, which seemingly you can make an argument that they have done this before, and they have presented this, and you've not jumped off the bandwagon. Or even further, you've not only not jumped off the bandwagon, but you've not become pissed because, wait a minute, this team's 3-3-1, and you're doing what? You're starting who? You're trading who for what and why? Wait a minute, what about this difference-making stuff? Stephon Gilmore, one-year deal, a difference maker. One of the reasons you have 3 wins is because of Stephon Gilmore. So that's what I mentioned to Kevin Bowen yesterday as to how and why you have to be careful. Now, I also understand this. If you can get something out of somebody that's not going to be in your plans next year, then I understand that you have to, and you certainly will want to do that. But you have to be really careful how you handle this. Everybody was on board with Dr. Tankenstein with the Pacers. Well, until you watch their act defensively last night. We'll get to that coming up in a minute, too. Man, Miles was great last night. By the way, Miles, and I know everybody was all over me last night. Hey, there's your boy. There's your guy. Look at your guy. And, he struggled. Miles looked like somebody that hadn't played in 10 months. I will say that. He looked incredibly stiff. But we'll get to that in a second. You got to be very careful how you handle this. Because you can run some people off, and you can run some people off for a long time if they're thinking, so what? Wait a minute, he tried to sell us on all this crap in the offseason. You're 3-3-1, or you're 3-4-1, or you're 3-3-2. Trying to think of all the scenarios here. And you're doing what? You get somebody to bring up to take the place. Well, we're going to get rid of this guy because we want to see how this guy. Okay, if you want to see how somebody plays, fine. I just don't know in this situation who we need to see really play right now. I'm going to get more of that. I want to get your thoughts on that, too. And I wanted to make sure I actually I text Kevin. I was talking to him about it a little bit yesterday, but I found that interesting as we were talking about it yesterday, and we'll expand on that conversation coming up a little bit later on. Aaron, if you want to come on up here. Aaron Johnson is here, and you can see right across from me, there's Brent Halverson, Heaven Hill Distillery. Did I make any sense whatsoever?
It made a lot of sense.
Diatribe at the beginning?
You really dialed it in.
I make more sense than my Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shot.
Every now and then, but you got some redemption to do today, but that's what we're here for, right? We've learned a lot over the last 7 weeks, coming up week 8, which is pretty wild.
I need a shot of redemption. That's in a Paul Simon song.
Well, it is. We don't have. I can get you a shot of Luna Azul.
Oh, meow.
I can get you a shot of Luna Azul.
We might have to do that too.
Absolutely.
So what do we got? I'll get back to you in just a second. But what do we got? So where are we right now as far as percentages? Because I suck big time, right?
Well, last week.
Hi, I'm John, and I suck.
You went 6-8, and you're 47% on the year.
Right.
I went 9-5, and I'm sitting at 54%. So. We're hovering right there, a little bit of work to be done.
I got to get on a run.
Got to get on a run.
I'm just like your home team right here. I got to get on a run.
Oh, boy.
All right, sitting to your right, meet Aaron Johnson. I think we introduced you a little bit earlier. Aaron Johnson of Waste Management. He runs everything. Can I just say that you run everything?
Sure.
But he's going to be hanging out. He's going to be hanging out at my domain coming up this weekend, Burgersville, Indiana, which is outstanding. First and foremost, thanks for joining the show today, Aaron. How are you doing, man?
Thanks for the opportunity. Anytime we can tell our story, we can't pass the opportunities.
Well, and obviously we've had a relationship. Matt Godbout, a guy that I've known for a while, for a while as well. But you got some special stuff going on Sunday, and it's with regard to what Colts fans have seen over and over each home game through the past 20-plus years, right?
Right. So I'm a fourth-generation garbage man, so I've been going to Colts games for the last 25 years. I'm born and raised here in Indiana. So I remember as a teenager seeing that garbage truck go out on the field, and it always sparked my interest. I was always a little jealous.
Sure.
It was an orange truck. So now working for Waste Management WM, the opportunity to paint that truck green. It's the first truck we painted after the acquisition of Ray's recently. I have the opportunity to go out there and throw some footballs into the back of it Sunday. So hopefully I don't blow my shoulder out or embarrass myself too bad.
I think the last time out, whoever did it did pretty well. So you may have a little ground to cover here.
I'm nervous.
Are you nervous?
I mean, I was watching some video, that Dr. Pepper challenge where they're doing chest passes. A little afraid I might lose.
You kind of got to throw it. You got to throw it like a quarterback,
I don't
right?
want to lose street.
I mean, you can't underhand it like you're playing fast-pitch softball or something like that.
Better be careful. They might get a jersey on you, put you in the game.
They might do that. Who knows how that's going? So what time of the game do you guys normally do this?
So it'll be the 2-minute warning in the second quarter.
Oh, so by then we may have a theory on what's going on with this first-time quarterback, and who knows?
If Ellinger struggles, they might put me in after they see what I got.
They may put you in. This is Aaron Johnson with us, so you're going to be on the field throwing footballs. And I was so happy to hear from Matt a little bit earlier, and then John Griffin as well, because this is to my heart. Firmly to my heart, Teachers Treasures.
Yes.
Teachers Treasures helps out all the teachers in the area. We know how much our educators have to deal with and what comes out of their pocket, again, personally, financially, on a yearly, if not monthly basis to help maintain their rooms, to help educate those in their classrooms. And that's what Teachers Treasures does. It helps them out in that capacity. I've been a longtime supporter of them. And then coming up on Sunday, you will as well. Talk about it.
Yeah, so through the promotion, we are going to be donating $2,500 to the Teachers Treasures. Every Sunday, that money goes to charity. I'm excited to do it. I think it's a great cause. I got quite a few friends that are teachers here in the state of Indiana. They need all the help they can get. So, the $2,500.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. $2,500 for Teachers Treasures coming up on Sunday. That is so great. Thank you, Aaron, very much for that. Now, you say you're from Indiana.
Yep.
A little bit of your Indiana background.
Yeah, so born and raised up in Northwest Indiana in LaPorte, Indiana.
The Slicers?
I was, I think, the only slicer in the United States. I don't think there's another one out there.
Here's a true story. That's where my dad went to high school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, class of 99, LaPorte.
I can't remember what class he was, but maybe 61 or 62 or something like that. But, he was a LaPorte Slicer. And then I think he went to Miami and I believe he was going to play football at Miami. His roommate was Mark Van Egan, who later played for the Raiders in the 70s. And I think he flunked out and had to go back to Indiana State. So I guess it's kind of like me. Yeah. So, anyway, but no, that's kind of what happened. But he is a LaPorte native. No longer with us, but a LaPorte native he was.
Yeah. Great town. I still have a lake home back in LaPorte, and that's where my family and I spend our summers. Lived all over the place. Lived in California. Spent 7 years in Chicago. The last 4 years I was president of Waste Management Canada, so my family and I lived up in Toronto. And we moved back to Ann Arbor, Michigan 2 years ago, but LaPorte's still where we call home, and that's where we go on the weekends and summer. Was a Purdue Boilermaker, class of 2003. Got to see a couple of years of Drew Brees and Kyle Orton, the glory days of Purdue football. So for me, I'm back home and living my dream. I always wanted to be a professional garbage man growing up, a fourth-generation garbage family. And my dad sold his company in 2003, right after I graduated to WM. And so I've been here 19 years now. So, looking at the landscape of garbage in Indiana, I've known Ray's since I was a teenager, actually. Sure. My family had a garbage company, and when my dad had a truck that caught on fire, Donnie Matthews, the owner of Ray's, he was the first person to call and say, what can I do to help? And I remember coming down here as an 18-year-old kid, grabbing a garbage truck, driving it back north to go finish routes. So I always knew the family, always knew the brand, knew it was a great company. And I'm biased. I always wanted to be bigger in the state of Indiana because it's where I'm from.
Sure.
And this was the best opportunity, the best brand, and the best waste company in the Indianapolis market. So we're excited to grow in this market and have a bigger presence in this community.
Yeah, they've done something called Anything Goes on this show, and it gets a little bit wild.
Okay.
A little bit wild. So it's always great, though. I mean, it really is, too. And I know that's who comes and picks me up every Friday, and I'm highly appreciative of it. And I cannot thank you enough for what you're doing for Teachers Treasures coming up on Sunday. $2,500.
$2,500, yes, sir. We're assuming I make all the throws. Which
you got this, all right. Yeah. You got this. So how can people see what you're up to and what you're doing and waste management in general?
Well, hopefully they're going to see the green brand more prominent throughout the community. We're going to start rebranding. They can go online. We got a lot of self-user capabilities, a lot of technology that's available. They're going to see us very active in the community. We're going to be doing a lot of hiring events. We're looking to hire a lot of drivers, technicians, sales reps, those types of. So we're going to have a stronger presence, definitely in the Indianapolis area.
Aaron's fantastic to meet you. Now, will I see you on Saturday, considering you're going to be floating about in the Bargersville, Indiana area, which is pretty much near me?
You might not see us, but you'll probably hear us.
Will we hear you? Will you be loud? Am I going to hear like Led Zeppelin at 10 plus, I think, in the backyard somewhere?
Yeah, it's 3 of my college roommates from Purdue getting together. The 4 of us haven't been together in probably 10 or 15 years, so you'll probably hear us outside. I think we're going to have a bonfire and get ready for the game on
That's Sunday. On Saturday night? So you're going to be... Yeah. Are you going to be hungover for that thing on Sunday?
I'll be ready to go. It's game day.
We got You got to listen to B105.7 too. Little JMV takeover Halloween style on Saturday night too, with the Larceny Bourbon Double Shot Power with Brent Holverson right next to you there. So, hey man, it's great to meet you, Aaron. Thank you so much for helping out. You got that, helping out with our friends.
Good luck,
from Teachers Treasures. Watch on that stage behind you too. I don't want you tumbling down. I've seen a couple of people do that before. Aaron Johnson, everybody. Thank you very much, Aaron. Aaron Johnson of Waste Management. He is going to throw for $2,500 to Teachers Treasures. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. That is absolutely awesome.
That is great. That's cool. I mean, that
makes me feel good. I love it.
Absolutely. I want to see him now. Like I kind of want to see if I can get in there and watch him just throw. I mean, he might have a jersey.
I hope he's not a little wobbly out there. I mean,
especially after a night of hanging with the old college buddies.
I know what happens in Bargersville. Wait a minute. All of a sudden, you'll see like the open end of like 3 different trucks back there. Just throw the middle one. Throw at the middle one.
Always pick the middle one. That's right. It's got me through school, right? Always take C.
All right. Before I hit a break here, a couple more things about some of these games, including the Ravens and the Buccaneers. Man, the Buccaneers need one bad tonight. That's your Thursday nighter.
Big game tonight, John. I mean, yeah, it's the line's crazy, right? The Ravens were a 1.5 point favorite. Tampa's now a 2.5 point favorite. So big move going on there. There might be something that's not been announced yet. I know Andrews is questionable. I know they got a couple other questionable guys on there. That's a big money movement. So we'll see. A couple other games that caught my eye. That Arizona-Minnesota game, 1 o'clock Sunday, is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
And then the 4:25 San Francisco Rams game, I think, should be a great matchup. all of those games are within a field goal, so you know you're going to have a good game. And we've got a lot of them to pick. We're going to go through them all.
And we still got some big numbers on the board here, too.
There's a couple big numbers, and one of them's against my Green Bay Packers. They're going to have their hands full in Buffalo Sunday.
That's been a bad deal right there.
I've been waiting all week, John, for that big magical wide receiver before trade deadline.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to move. And haven't heard it yet.
You probably will see a lot more activity than we're normally used to. You saw Robert Quinn move yesterday from the Bears to the Eagles with what the Eagles are doing. I think the Chiefs did. What's up? There's Phil Burton's in the house. I think you saw the Chiefs make a move a little bit earlier today as well. So you get a lot of things happening. You know, these Colts, to me, Sunday is going to dictate what they may or may not end up doing coming up on Tuesday.
Oh, absolutely. I'm anxious to see. I mean, now you've got a mobile quarterback, and Matt Ryan just has no mobility, right? But, again, that big, highest-paid line in the NFL hasn't been giving him a lot of time either. So Ehlinger, hopefully, he's got I was looking at his stats from last college year there, and, man, he's got some scrambling ability. So it's going to be – I think he's going to need to be scrambling and then get that new mojo going. I'm excited to see him play.
I know that they have confidence. I know that I don't right now, and I think I'm being fair just because we haven't seen him, and you're thrust into this situation. I'm going to have to see it to believe it here.
Yeah.
I hope that everybody gets thrilled, and I hope that he does perform, but I'm going to have to see it to believe it.
Not a better place to start at home against the Commanders. They beat the Packers, which isn't saying much, but against the Commanders, I think it's a great spot. Great way to come out. It's better than coming out and going right in the meat grinder of the Bills, right? So
we have a lot of Future Farmers of America. Their conventions in town this week, right? Were you a Future Farmer of America in Seymour?
I wasn't, John. I wasn't. I had some farmer friends down in Seymour.
I bet Seymour was a big Future Farmers of America.
Oh, absolutely.
I know Easton Green, man. I did not have the blue corduroy jacket, but I think most did. I was an exception to the rule. I didn't, but most did.
You would look good in that, by the way.
I would.
I think you would.
Actually, somebody years ago, I think the Linville family what's up, buddy? They actually gave me a blue corduroy jacket from J County FFA.
Wow.
And I still have it at home now, too. I was like an honorary Future Farmer of America.
Does it fit?
There.
Could you nestle into it?
I could probably squeeze into it.
Okay. It'd be a good Halloween costume when you're doing the takeover Saturday
night.
Future
Farmers of America.
I love it.
I can't believe you weren't one in Seymour, though. I
wasn't. I wasn't. No.
What if Mellencamp was in Seymour? Do you know? How much would that jacket be worth if Mellencamp was a Future Farmer of America?
I think he has one. I think I've seen a picture of him in one, but I don't know that he was actually a true Future Farmer of America. I think he just had one. I think he knew somebody.
Brent Alverson right there. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up at the top of the hour. Cappy is going to join us as well, the legendary Slippery Noodle. You know what works on a Thursday. It's free samplage here. The samplage is flowing. You can see us right here. We've got ours. We'll get you yours when you get down here as well. The great food and so much more. Mike Chappel still to come. We'll get an update from those covering the Commanders in D.C. And I want to take some calls coming up on the other side. It seems like everybody is extremely excited about Ehlinger. But I want to know that. What I want to know from you at 239-1070, I want to know if you're a believer. And if you are a believer, I want to know what makes you a believer. Because, again, all we've heard basically about Ehlinger is, well, he's a smart, studied guy. He's a leader. They love him in the locker room. There really hadn't been anything about what you expect play-wise. So if you're a believer, why are you a believer? Then let's see if you can convince me. Convince me to jump on board before I actually see it. That's not pessimism. That's realism. See if you can convince me. Why are you a believer? Is it more than just making a change from a guy that looked really old, broken down, and turned the ball over way too much? There's a reason why you're a believer in Ehlinger. Do that coming up on the other side. I mentioned Chappel. We'll get an update from D.C. That and a lot more. I got to get you my Pacers take from last night. I tell you, they can't D anybody up. Miles coming back. That didn't help either. Miles kind of reminded me of like Matt Ryan moving around. He did. I hate to say that because I'm a huge supporter. Well, my man, I know he's missed 10 weeks, but he wasn't moving very well last night. Wasn't a lot of movement, a lot of fluid movement happening last night. Last night is what you're going to see for the most part from this Pacer team. You're going to see them look awful. and you're going to see them get down 20. You're going to see them, because it's an NBA game, as they always do in the NBA, get back into it. And then you're going to see Terry Taylor screw them over when they're down 4 and mess up a fast break, go the other way, and in a blink of an eye, after a really bad foul, you're going to be down 10 again. That's what's going to happen. Down big, come back. Oh, wow, this team's got hard. This team doesn't give up. And, oh, crap, there they are again, getting blown out by 20. That's what's going to happen more times than not this season. I'm assuming you know that. All right, quick break, and we'll come back inside the lounge via YouTube Live. We are watching you there. The stream, the app, you got HD radio as well, the legendary Slippery Noodle, Larceny Bourbon Locks, and Luna Azul Tequila Shots, and the Tavern Tour.
Tavern Tour, stop 10.
Here.
This is a dual
10,
combo.
Right here. We'll make an announcement on the Tavern Tour for December. Are we going to go into 2023 with the Tavern Tours yet?
We are. Do you want to skip over November, though? Are we going to do one for November?
Yeah, this is November is between it. I forgot about November.
Hey,
you're ready for
November
Christmas,
always kind of
sucks.
Oh, no, it's Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Football, food, family, and cocktails. It's all good.
I'm trying to think where I would rank that, what you just said right there. Football, food, and family, and cocktails. Sure, I'd rank that.
Maybe. Well, it's kind of where I'm at.
All of a sudden, JMV, Slippery Noodle, 93.5, 107.5, The Fan. Don't leave.
Start a new career with a job that keeps your community safe. The Marion County Sheriff, Carrie Forrestal, is hiring detention deputies to work in the brand new Community Justice Center. You'll supervise and guard offenders, making Marion County a better place to live. Starting pay begins at around $40,000 a year with a $5,000 signing bonus. Enjoy great benefits like complete health coverage and pension plan. Start your career as a detention deputy and earn the respect of your community. Apply today at joinmcso.indy.gov.
Afraid to look at your financial statements? Shredding them without opening them? It's time for a second opinion from Edelman Financial Engines. Our opinions aren't based on intuition or daily market movements. They're grounded in institutional rigor, and all of our planners are fiduciaries who put your interest above all others. So if you need help managing the ups and downs of this market, we're ready to talk. At Edelman Financial Engines, you get personalized investment recommendations from a dedicated wealth planner who doesn't sell products to earn commissions. So stop shredding those financial statements. Let's take a look together. It's time to get a second opinion. Get your complimentary wealth checkup where you can discuss your financial goals with a wealth planner. Call Edelman Financial Engines at 888-899-4450. That's 888-899-4450. Or visit efewealthplanners.com.
JMV here for my guys John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air Conditioning. The cold weather is here, and you need to make sure your furnace is tuned up and safe and efficient for the winter months ahead. So right now, get the recommended service from Love Heating and Air Conditioning, and the Love family will waive the $95 trip and diagnostic fee. These are the guys that I trust with my home. I love the guys at Love, and you will too. Love Heating and Air Conditioning, 317-754-0754. That's 317-754-0754. Online, love-hvac.com today. Tell them JMV sent you.
Football fans can turn a loss into a win with the king of sportsbooks. Just place a single first touchdown score prop bet on any Monday or Thursday pro football game. If your bet loses, you'll receive up to $25 back in free bets. This offer is available all season long. Wager confidently and take your game to the next level with BetMGM. Just log into your account or download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Turn game time into showtime with the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
People who shop at Diamonds Direct for diamonds and engagement rings can't believe the prices.
They blew everybody else out of the water.
I saved between $1,500 and $2,000. Came here first, got a really good price, went around everywhere else, and it wasn't really even close.
I looked online. I'd actually shopped a couple of local stores. They could not begin to touch the size, the quality, or the pricing.
Crazy the deal that we got. Couldn't believe I was able to get into a ring like this.
Of all the places that I visited, everybody from mom and pop shops to wholesalers to local franchisees, nobody could compete from a pricing
standpoint with Diamonds Direct?
It's because Diamonds Direct is a true direct diamond importer with special access to the world's most exquisite diamonds, no middleman markups, and a commitment to beat any price, anywhere, anytime.
Whether it be duty-free in the Caribbean or other countries, Diamonds Direct prices have beaten everything I've looked at.
At least 20% lower than what we had been looking at other stores.
They blew everybody else out of the water.
Get the engagement ring of her dreams at the price you deserve. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. DiamondsDirect.com.
For over 25 years, Quality Supply and Tool has taken a customer-first approach to supplying the construction industry with all their industrial needs. Big corporations, on the other hand, think differently. Here's Ryan Ling to explain.
In my career, I've worked for the larger corporations. I've been on the other side. But the owner of Quality Supply and Tool gives us the freedom to take care of the customer no matter what. We stock only industrial-grade tools, and our full-service and warranty department truly sets us apart.
With locations in Jeffersonville, Bloomington, and South Harding Street in Indy, Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box. Store.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone therapy. They've got me on a testosterone program. Got to tell you, I feel amazing. Get started at feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. We're at the legendary Slippery Noodle. We got our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots coming at you. Brian Hare says, I'm a believer in getting to the top of the draft board. Colts or the Pacers. The Pacers could make it there. I think the Colts are still too good to get there. You guys really think that they have enough losing right now? You have enough in the arsenal to get up? What do you got, 3 guys? You got 3 guys, and then you got Carolina, Detroit, Seattle. Who am I leaving out of the equation here, Kyle, for those teams there? Well, the Commanders. I mean, maybe the Commanders. You may have a lot to jump over there. I tell you what, Brian, I'll get back to that. Brent Halverson is with us from Heaven Hill Distillery. So you're at the Butler tip-off.
Tip-off dinner last night.
Nice.
Outstanding. It was great.
What did Mata have to say to you? Did he talk to you? Did you get him all hammered up?
Here's a great story, right? So his wife, Barbara, used to be Barbara Britton from Seymour and comes from one of the greatest families. The Britton family they're like my second family. So I've known Barbara all my life. Families hung out together all through the years, right?
Yeah.
There's 3 Britton girls and then John, and the whole family is just amazing. So John and Ann are great. They all moved to Ohio when Thad was coaching over there. So the whole family moved over there. They're all still there, and now they moved back here. And it was pretty exciting to be able to see him, talk to him. Thad's excited about it, and just from hearing the buzz. The transfer portal has been going crazy. People wanting to come play for Thad Matta. So I'm excited about Butler basketball this year. Even more excited, John, is we're now going to have Larceny, Elijah Craig, Evan Williams, Luna Azul Tequila, all of our Evan flavors inside Butler Fieldhouse. As
wow.
We are
so if the
spirit sponsor.
So if the team's not looking that great, you can drown their sorrows, or you can be happy if they're playing really well.
I don't like to call it drowning your sorrows, John. I like to call it lifting your spirits, right?
Lifting your spirits. That's awesome. Spirits. You guys are in Hinkle now.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yep.
That's the brand right there. Well done. We'll get back to Brent coming up in just a second. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline right now, Matthew Paris of the Washington Times covers the Commanders, of course, coming up on Sunday afternoon. The Commanders in town. And, it was kind of weird how the storylines have been prevalent and then faded, been prevalent and then faded, and now are even more prevalent. So who's the better quarterback coming up on Sunday, in your opinion, right now? Just by the eyeball test, of which you have no eyeball test results from Sam Ehlinger. The Heineke-Ehlinger game, will we reference it as such, you think, Matthew, when this game's done?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Wentz-Matt Ryan showdown that we were all expecting. Heck, I mean, if you had told me that Matt Ryan was going to be benched or was injured or anything, then I was hoping for a Wentz-Nick Foles reunion. That would have been a lot of fun to cover. But, alas, now we get Taylor Heineke and Sam Ehlinger. So, it should be something to see, I guess.
All right, so Heineke, what's he look like as far as being able to get the team down the field? Give me the pros and the cons of that Commanders quarterback in there for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, so the pros, there are a couple. one, the guys really seem to respond to him. He's kind of the emotional heartbeat of the team, but how that affects on the football field, they know how to play with him. You know, last Sunday was his 17th start, I guess 18th game in a Commander's uniform. He knows their system inside and out, and they've kind of found an identity of how to play with him. They're really focused on running the ball. They take some shots down the field, but his ability to scramble outside the pocket, I think, helps keep plays alive. So, you know, they're a bit of a scrappy offense with him. Now, the downsides are because of the physical limitations. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. He kind of can get the ball out too late at times. And, you could do worse than Taylor Heineke as a quarterback, but I also understand why teams have looked for upgrades over him, or I guess team in this case with the Commanders.
So Matthew Paris of the Washington Times covers the Commanders with us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Week 8, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots with the legendary Slippery Noodle on this Thursday afternoon. Come by and grab some free samples. All right, defensively, I was on with a guy yesterday named Big Doug. Big Doug has a podcast. So I was making biscuits yesterday morning, and I was on with Big Doug, and we were talking about how defensively up front, that may be the highest quality as far as a category is concerned for this football team, being able to get after the opposition's quarterback without having to blitz. How good have they been, and how good do you expect them to be against an offensive line that was supposed to be one of the best, and in actuality this season has been one of the worst?
Yeah, no, I expect them to have a huge day, frankly. I mean, this line has been really good. They've done so without Chase Young, the number 2 overall pick in the draft a few years ago, but they still have some really good players up front there with Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, their defensive tackles. They really kind of are what stand out about that defensive line. They generate so much pressure from the interior. And then on the edge, you have Montez Sweat, who's having a really nice season as well. If you look at the number of quarterback hits a player's had this season, he's right up there among the league leaders. So, he's been really strong together. They've worked really well together, and it's been a bit of a bounce back for them this year, because in 2020 they were one of the best units in the NFL. They were very disappointing last year, and now this year it's been a bit of a return to form.
What do you think this team has? Right now, below 500, obviously. You look around the NFC and you see teams around you within that division certainly getting better, and the Eagles have been fantastic. The Cowboys look like they're going to be getting better as well. What do you think this team has to offer, even before, I guess, Wentz ultimately returns to be under center?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's their defensive identity, if they can have that. Now, they look terrible the first 2 games of the season defensive-wise, but I think with them, if Washington can keep being close in games, if they can go to this grinded-out style, then they're going to have a chance. If they fall behind by 14 early, then it's going to be much harder for them to climb back out of it. So they're really a team that kind of has a thin margin for error. They really do need things to kind of work out their way, and that's a tough way to consistently win in the NFL, but as long as they're in it, they can challenge some teams because they do have some talent.
The Daniel Snyder situation. We'll get into what Jim Irsay had to say about it last week at the NFL owners' meetings in the fall in NYC. But how much does his ownership and how that is viewed by the Commander fans, how much has that taken away over the years, and certainly right now, with the overall fan enjoyment, viewing experience, following experience? How much has he taken away from that enjoyment overall?
I mean, I think it's undeniable his impact that it's had over the franchise and the decaying of it. I mean, you look back at the 90s and those sorts of things, of the passion that this fan base had. And I've been covering the team for 6 years, and it's even in that span, it seems like the interest has waned even further and further. Now, their attendance is up a little bit this year, but they still rank last in the NFL, and it is just there's just always so much drama, so much chaos going on with him personally, that it does seem to to wear down on people. And then, let's face it, the product hasn't been very good, and that's probably the bigger reason.
Yeah, it's funny. I look back at this Washington franchise, and you go back to the 80s, and seemingly throughout that decade, always, the afternoon game on CBS because you knew everybody was going to watch, and you're looking live at RFK Stadium, and, Joe Gibbs and Art Monk and, the Fun Bunch, and, from Theismann to Rippon, and, defensively, Charles Mann and Dexter Manley, Darrell Green, the Hogs on the offensive line. And now it just seems like that just any interest whatsoever has disappeared for them over the years.
Yeah, no, it really has. I mean, like I said, they ranked last in attendance. They scaled down the stadium. At one time, FedEx Field could seat up to, north of 90,000, and now capacity is around 62, 63,000. So they've taken out a lot of seats over the years, and that's because of the lack of interest.
Incredible. All right, what do you think? How do you think this game goes coming up on Sunday, Matthew?
I like Washington's chances. Maybe Ellinger provides the Colts a spark, and the offensive line will perform better with his mobility. But, right now I really like Washington's ability to get after and create pressure. And, they have a pretty strong running game with Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson. They're really kind of a 1-2 punch. Robinson's actually the lead back, and Gibson's more of a change of pace. But they were really effective against Green Bay last week. And then Terry McLaurin is having a pretty nice season, and Heineke knows how to get him the ball. So, it's going to be a homecoming for Terry McLaurin. He's from Indianapolis, and maybe he has a big day. But, the Colts do have a nice secondary, so we'll see.
Let me tell you about Terry McLaurin. I think I was doing some of those high school championships that he was a part of with Cathedral. Just an absolute incredible player. And I know people say this all the time, and it just kind of becomes fluff a little bit, right? But an even better dude. Just a great dude and an incredible player. Kind of took that chip on his shoulder about where he was drafted. Man, he has taken that thing to the next level, has he not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is very just humble about it, though. I mean, I asked him yesterday, did you think you could, that you were going to get drafted by the Colts? Were you hoping for that? And he said, he thought it was a possibility, but they drafted actually Paris Campbell, his college roommate, and said he was so happy for Paris Campbell, and that this was, it ended up working out because the Commanders were the place that he was supposed to be. And I also asked him about, that this offseason when he was working out, or when he was working through his contract, that did he notice Colts fans wanted to trade for him? And he said he did notice it, but he never thought that was actual possibility because he was confident that the contract was going to get done. But it is, he has a lot of respect for Indianapolis. He went as Marvin Harrison for Halloween twice. That was his childhood team, and he's really fired up for this one.
One more thing with you, Matthew, before I let you go. I was a big fan of signing Charles Leno Jr. when he was available. A lot of people around here said I was stupid. How has Charles Leno Jr. performed at left tackle? And let's compare that to the left tackle currently of the Colts, which is Dennis Kelly, which has been Bernard Ryman, which has been Matt Pryor, which has been basically a disaster. And going back to last year, even to Eric Fisher. How has Leno been offensively at left tackle holding things down for this team?
Yeah, he's been really solid. He's very workmanlike. He's not the best left tackle in the league. Actually, Washington probably had that in Trent Williams, but they had a massive hole after they traded Trent Williams away, and they kind of got by in the 2020 season on patchwork with it. They used 4 different left tackles, and since Leno arrived, they really only had kind of one. It's just been him. He's very kind of workmanlike, has earned a contract extension, and he's been a nice solution for them, given it looked like they were going to be in a disaster after they had traded Trent Williams away, but it ended up working kind of just fine for them.
Yeah, I was on board for that around here, but it fell on deaf ears. And when you look at hindsight, that probably would have worked around here. Hey, one quick final thing. Sam Howell is a guy that evidently a lot of Commander fans would like to see. Where is that average as far as who wants to see Heineke play and who wants to see Hal play?
I think it just depends on the half in terms of how Heineke is performing. During the first half, everyone wanted to see Hal play. In the second half, I don't think those people were nearly as loud. There is some interest there with Sam Howell and seeing how he's come along, but I don't think he's nearly ready yet. He was a fifth-round pick. His footwork has a ways to go in the NFL, and even though Hal has that potential, I do think people are generally okay with Heineke because he is such a fan favorite here. I mean, the fan base really goes. They like him more than Carson Wentz, just anecdotally, it seems like. So I do think they're excited to watch Heineke, even if there is maybe a ceiling there.
Matthew, I appreciate you hopping on here today. Enjoy the game coming up on Sunday, and have fun the rest of the season, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Matthew Paris of the Washington Times on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Legendary Slippery Noodle. Brent Holverson's walking over here with a drink. He's going to rejoin. We got free samples flowing as well. Cappy's going to get up here. We got our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots, top of the hour. You remember Charles Leno Jr., I was all over it, right? I don't think Ballard wanted to listen to that. Why don't they listen to me, man?
I don't know. I do.
Look how intelligent I am.
You speak.
Look how intelligent I've been.
I know. You speak, I listen.
I was the one that said back in the day, all right, don't get rid of Peyton Manning. Keep him as the starter, draft Luck, and have him back up.
Look at that.
That was my idea,
which
really sucked at the time. But when you look back on it now, it looks like a hell of a plan.
It really does. John, there's more people listening than you think. Everybody's doing what you're saying.
Start listening to me, Ballard.
There's just a couple. Exactly.
There's
just a couple of those people out there that like to ruffle the feathers a little bit.
It's Brent right there. We'll come back with him top of the hour. He and Cappy are Week 8 Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila shots. Inside the lounge via YouTube Live. Conversation is flowing right now. Jump in there. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
It's time for tip-off with basketball in the Bet Rivers Sportsbook app. Bet same-game parlays where you can combine different bets from the same game for even bigger payouts and more action on the hardwood. Bets like live player props, spreads, totals, and more. Add our award-winning customer service, and it's nothing but net. Bet Rivers Sportsbook app and basketball. It's a whole new game.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Indiana only. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's John here from BullseyeEventGroup.com. Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. That's coming up on Sunday. Remember, a late afternoon affair, right? I start at 12:30 with the ride to kickoff inside the Bullseye Event Center. Doors open at 1:30. Going to be a part of that coming up on Sunday, too. All you can eat, all you can drink. DJ Skids, DJ Helicon. It's a blast. Game day experience made with BullseyeEventGroup.com. And think about November. It is going to be a party in Vegas. Make sure you're on that plane for a weekend in Vegas with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Log on right now. Make sure you're a part of that or get passes to the Colts VIP tailgate. That's BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens. The big fall sale has now been extended through Halloween, and there's even more savings. Annuals, including mums, fall yard art, and pumpkins are all 50% off now through the 31st. 20 to 50% off all nursery stock, 50% off all pottery, and now 50% off Miss Mary's fall decor. Don't forget the Kids Zone this Saturday. Pumpkins, the Pumpkin Launcher, and more. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road. SundownGardens.com. That's SundownGardens.com.
Fall in Indy. And since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
I was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad, and I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Avondale Distillery, Brent Holverson right here. That's the Larceny Bourbon Locks Luna Azul Tequila Shots for week number 8 coming up here at the top of the hour. Every Thursday we do it, including this week, the Tavern Tour stop for the month of October, the legendary Slippery Noodle. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, and the Tavern Tour all going on today. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Is it yay or nay for snow this winter? You might want to hold your horses, but not those horses. Yes, the Colts. Tonight I'll take a look at weather data from the past decade to forecast how much snow we'll get and how that ties in with the Colts' performance. Tonight at 11.
Everybody's talking about So Help Me Todd.
Must be nice to be perfect.
It's exhausting.
A new So Help Me Todd, tonight after Ghosts on CBS.
Hey, it's Johnny for LD Smith Plumbing, the absolute best in plumbing. Shout out to Kurt and Wes, came over to my place. And you know how happy I was they got me a new toilet. You know, one of the best days of a dude's life is when you get a brand new toilet. You get to break that in. I'm going to tell you what, the best in plumbing, that's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. Make that call at 317-927-7186, no matter what the situation. Whether you just wanted to change something up or if you have a plumbing emergency, go with the best. And again, that is Kurt, that is Wes, and my man Lance at LD Smith Plumbing. Make that call or at least keep that number handy. 317-927-7186 online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
A new season, a new QB, a new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for Cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Hey, JMV, join me Friday at Whiskey Business for your chance at Commanders tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you Friday at Whiskey Business.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Penn State hosts Ohio State on American Standards College Football Saturday. The coverage begins at 11:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
JMV does not suck at all.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Legendary Slippery Noodle, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. We got a bunch of FFA people in here. My man over there has an absolute incredible mullet. You think you would? Can he come over here, Cappy? Is he allowed in here?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get him over here and let everybody see this mullet. When's the last time any of you guys saw a mullet? Seriously, this may be one of the greatest mullets of all time coming up.
That is straight 1989.
I tell you what, Cappy, let me break here first and we'll come back with the mulleted dude over there. That is it's
impressive.
I'm going to tell you what, Billy Ray Cyrus had nothing on that back in the day.
Did you ever have one of those, John?
I did not.
No.
I went with the Billy Idol spiked hairdo kind of thing back in the day.
Okay. All right.
And then for whatever reason, when I was a senior in high school, I did the butthole James Spader parted to the side kind of preppy butthole guy, I guess.
All right.
Preppy butthole guy.
I was all business in the front, party in the back.
I mean, were you a...
Oh, I had one.
Oh, yeah. I guess I would have. I don't know why I was going. Like, I was wearing... Seriously. I was wearing, pink polo shirts and Lacoste shirts.
Sure.
I would wear suspenders.
Ooh. It's a good look, John. I can picture right now.
Can you imagine seeing that right now? But my suspenders came down and made my chest look really, man, I look like I kind of look like Big John Studd back in the day when he was. I walk out there like this, but yeah, I don't know why I was like the James. My 88 was James Spader year for me. I don't know why.
You know what I was always upset about is I had a buddy, Todd Bollinger. He had the. You remember that it was short in front. Again, business in the front, and then he went to the perm in the back.
Oh, yeah, the perm.
Remember that was half and half?
Yeah.
I always wondered why my dad wouldn't let me do it.
Dude, I had guys I went to high school with.
Looking back.
I went to high school with or junior high with that would sit in a basement with Prel permed up or whatever, the little curlers in their hair.
Oh, yeah.
Like American Hustle with Bradley Cooper. Like that. To perm their hair. I never understood that.
I didn't either.
But I liked it.
I wanted it.
All right,
cool.
There's Brett, there's Cappy, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. If you're online, you can watch that too inside the lounge via YouTube Live. We're coming back at you. Hour 2 straight ahead. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Searching, ordering, tracking. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Go to BECN.com to get started building with Beacon. Beacon, always building.
Hey, I was just talking about hair. If you want to regrow your hair and get a mullet, it's PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com. Seriously, can you imagine? You had a mullet back in the day and you thought all hope was lost on regaining that greatness with the business in the front and the party in the back, or a Kentucky neck blanket. You can have that right now, too. Is that right, Cappy? So you can get that with PAI, 888. I thought it was a Kentucky waterfall. You can get that if you want it. The option is there. Real growing hair at 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Chronic joint pain has a snowball effect. It's not just the pain.
What that did is just make me depressed that I couldn't get back into the gym, and I was inactive, gaining weight. I had to find another alternative.
And for Chad, that alternative was QC Kinetics and the non-surgical natural biologic treatments that can give lasting relief to aching hips, shoulders, knees, and backs.
Once they explained it, it made sense. Putting what we have inside our body back into us in a certain strategic way to heal up in a natural process was fantastic.
QC Kinetics treatments take place right in the office. No downtime, no surgery. And as for the outcome,
I'm just back to bouncing around, having fun, doing my work, living pain-free.
Don't let chronic joint pain rob you of your quality of life. Discover advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. Call now to learn more. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
Hey, it's Bullseye, all you can eat, all you can drink, the Colts, and you got the matchup with the Commanders, right? You got a couple hours before game time, actually 3 hours, you guys can slide in. Bullseye Event Center, all you can eat, all you can drink, skids, Helicon, it's a blast. It makes your game day experience the best it can be. Make sure you're a part of it coming up on Sunday with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Get your passes today, and remember, November, going to Vegas with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Log on and make sure you're a part of that trip with tickets to the game, a party, a stay at Caesars, and more with BullseyeEventGroup.com.
When winter's at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Get them before they're sold out at Midstate Truck Equipment, Allisonville Road at 106th Street, 849-4903 or mid-statetruck.com.
Hey, it's JMV. Remember the last time you took a trip? You know, that one where everyone would not stop talking in the morning about your snoring. You might have put up a good front, but you know you were embarrassed. Why don't you do something about it before the next trip? My friends at Aurora Sleep can set you up with a simple, comfortable, and non-invasive mouthpiece that will help you out. Get a better night's sleep while stopping your snoring. Stop being the butt of jokes and hit up Dr. Green at Aurora Sleep before your next trip. StopYourSnoreNow.com today.
The Colts VIP Tailgate is all you can eat in an open bar for 3 hours before kickoff for all Colts home games by Bullseye Event Group.
The Colts VIP Tailgate is the official tailgate for Colts fans on game days. Located at the Bullseye Event Center directly across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium. Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com for Colts VIP tailgates. All-you-can-eat food by Food Network chef Aaron May. Bullseye Event Group offers indoor and outdoor climate-controlled lounge seating for a VIP tailgate experience. All ages welcome. Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com for tickets today.
A place for players to play and so much more. Pick up USA Fitness Noblesville, a better way to play. PickUpUSAFitness.com.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Colts are home to take on the Washington Commanders. Coverage Sunday at 1:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Bullish Brand's hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Inside the lounge via YouTube Live right now, BP Canceled writes, I think JMV with a butt cut would look amazing with a Mississippi mud flap. I didn't go that way, man. You know, it's funny. I had like 3 different phases while in high school with my hair. And the reason why we're saying this, we're at the legendary Slippery Noodle, and my man with the FFA over here has got a one sweet mullet working right here. I mean, it looks outstanding. But I didn't do that. I went with the Steve Alford butt cut, feathered on the side, parted down the middle, which what was called at Command Performance, that her place back in the day, a bi-level. Debbie would cut my hair and then lean over on me and give me a little, you know. She would always say, "You look a lot older than 12." Ooh. I said, "Tell me more, Debbie." Tell me more. But she'd always sit my ass in the window at Command Performance. It was like right in the window in the Bloomington College Mall, and like everybody was walking to LS Airs and around would walk right by you, and she's got, you know, she's cutting your hair and she's got it like that. So that was always in the window, but Debbie was sweet.
You were her showpiece then, right?
I think Debbie was probably wanting me to tip her really well.
Well, sure.
But unfortunately for Debbie, I don't think I realized I needed a tip for a haircut until much later in life. So I think I kind of hosed Debbie on that, but I went with the Steve Alford butt cut, feathered on the side, parted down the middle, comb in the back pocket. And then I went with the Billy Idol spiked hairdo. And then I went with the James Spader, I'm a preppy butthole, at 1988. And that was about it. I never went with a mullet.
Wow.
Seriously.
You should try it, maybe. Yeah,
you did, though.
Bring it back. I did have one.
You
John.
did.
I did. It was the in thing. It was sharp. I had ear pierced. I was straight 88, man. It was good.
Cappy is here, the legendary Slippery Noodle as well. How about you?
I had a couple lines on the side of my head.
Oh, did you
did that
really?
as well for football.
Yeah. You had a couple of lines?
I think I once had a Nike stripe in the back.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Yeah. I paid a lot for that, actually.
That girl is poison.
It was a dark alley.
It was a dark alley.
I love it, man.
Oh, boy.
Hey, talk about the Noodle tonight. What's the Thursday night goings on at the Noodle? I know the FFA's in town, man. You guys are rocking it. You had to go out and buy some more sporks today, didn't you?
I did. It was a long journey with all those scooters out there. I was almost blindsided twice.
There's got to be a good 80 FFA people in here right now. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah. I love it. See, I love
Great place
FFA
to come.
too.
Hi, welcome.
I love FFA.
Lunch was great. Our staff is amazing. We pulled through, and now we're ready for a good evening of some live music. And wanted to talk a little bit about this weekend. I've got Mississippi Heat and Paul Holdman and Rebecca Friday night, 8 o'clock and 8:30 start. And then Saturday I have the Warrior Kings and Blackjack Davy for a Halloween extravaganza, and I may make an appearance. You might not recognize me, but I might be here. So.
Costume contest?
Wow.
Is this a dress up?
You're going under deep cover,
too,
huh? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I'm going to wear a backwards thong. And but for our costume contest, we're giving away over $850 in prizes for second and third.
Nice.
And I look forward to be a big party. Weather's supposed to be nice, and it's going to be a good turnout.
That's great.
I like it. I like those ideas you got right there, too.
John, what are you going to dress up as?
Marty.
As Marty? Oh, that would be a winner
grow my
right
beard
there.
out, grow my hair out, and then cuss at everybody.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
I love you,
should
Marty.
do
You
it.
know, I'm just joking. I love Marty.
I hope we get
Marty
to
would
see
so
some
whip
Marty
my
in there.
ass if he would enjoy it for me. He'd probably tease me for a minute and act like he was going to whip my ass, and then he'd go, I think that's pretty cool.
Roadhouse.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I should go as. Maybe I should go as Wade Garrett from Ray. I'd go as Wade Garrett, I think.
Yeah,
Though, can you believe that they killed him off in Roadhouse?
Yeah.
That was, I love Roadhouse, but the worst decision they made was to kill Wade Garrett. He didn't need to do that.
No.
I mean, these guys have to go to the very end. That whole fight at the end with, come on. Brad Wesley's going to be able to hold his own just for a minute. The guy would get tuned up in a half a second by
Didn't
Dalton.
get paid as much, I guarantee that much.
He didn't. Hey, are we ready to do Week 8?
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts, Cappy? Any thoughts on Week 8 here before we do
I've
it?
got two brain cells and they're fighting each other, but I am ready to win.
Let's do it. Hey, Kyle, let's go ahead and cue the band. Our Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, week number 8 of the NFL. It starts on Thursday night on Amazon TV. I'll tell you what, Lamar Jackson, for the sake of my fantasy team, can you pick it up? Like the last 2 or 3 weeks, it just has not been the same. But Tampa Bay and Tom Brady's been an absolute disaster. That disaster holds strong. I'm going to take the 2 points. I'm going to take the Ravens on the road in Florida coming up later on tonight, Brent Halverson.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Lamar Jackson. I think tonight he has to, his total rushing yards is 60.5. He's got to go over that. He has to take this team on his shoulders and go, right? Not going to do a whole lot of passing. I think you're going to see, the crazy thing here, John, I love Baltimore. I really do. The spread went from Baltimore as a 1.5-point favorite. It flip-flopped. It's now 2. Tampa Bay is now a 2-point favorite. Something's out there that's not been announced yet that we're going to hear later. So be sure to wait on this game before you bet. But I'm with you. I'm going to take Baltimore plus the 2 on the road. Touchdown Tommy doesn't look good right now, and he's got a lot of home issues. I think it's carrying over the field.
My Luna Azul Tequila shot last week was Kenyon Drake, and a shout-out to Gus Edwards for just completely screwing me over in the backfield for the Ravens last week. What a bad pick that was. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest, Cappy. Go ahead.
Wow. Won't be watching this game tonight, but I'm going to have to go with old Tommy on this one. I think he's going to come out with a little bit of luster and make the move. So I'm going to take them laying the 2.
9:30 a.m., that is in England. Coming up on Sunday, Broncos with a working out Russell Wilson in the aisle of the plane on the way over there. And everybody's kind of making fun of him. He says that he is ready. Will Jacksonville will be ready? The Jaguars are 2.5-point favorites. I'm going to take that 2.5 and take the Broncos in England on Sunday morning. Brent Halverson.
I'm against you here, John. There's some big dumpster fires in the NFL this year, and Denver's one of them, right? I'll throw the Packers in there. The Colts have kind of teetered on there, but Tampa Bay's another one. But for this game right here, I think Jacksonville, I think this is going to be a 3-point game. It's going to be like a 21-18 type game. Give me Jacksonville to cover that short field goal, minus 2.5, the Jags.
Capmeister.
I'll still be in bed for this one, but I'm going to run with Jacksonville on this one.
All right, Falcons at home at 1 o'clock on Fox on Sunday afternoon against Carolina. Shout out to former Colts backup P.J. Walker. Looking good last week, Carolina. Look at the work they did against Tampa Bay. That was embarrassing for the Buccaneers. The Falcons have been decent this year. I'm going to take that decency, lay the 4, take the Falcons at home against PJ and the Panthers on Sunday, Brent.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I mean, again, Carolina kind of shocked the world a little bit last week, but I don't think it happens here. Atlanta 6-1. They did lose their first against the spread game last week. They are 6-1 against the spread, 3-4 on the season. I'm going to join you there. I'm going to lay the 4. Give me the Falcons. No Falcon way. Carolina comes in and takes this one.
By the way, my Luna Azul Tequila shot of the week in fantasy, it looks as if Chuba Hubbard is going to be out. Deontay Foreman went over 100 yards in rushing last week, so I'm going to go ahead and grasp on Deontay Foreman at running back as my Luna Azul Tequila fantasy football shot of the week, Brent Halverson.
I like that.
What do you got, Cappy?
I'm rolling with the Falcons on this one with a double-digit win.
All right, Bears and Cowboys. How about the Bears on Monday night, by the way, man? Wow. Surprising a lot of people in Foxborough. 1 o'clock coming up on Fox on Sunday afternoon. They are 9.5-point underdogs on the road in Dallas. That is kind of like me, way too fat. 9.5-point favorites of the Cowboys at home. Circle the Bears. Give me the 9.5, and we'll see what the hell happens come Sunday. Brent Alverson.
Yeah, and here's the way I look at this game, right? So that game last week you're talking about, there was no way the Bears should have won that game, and they did. They did it with, they could have put another 7 on them, too. This is an overreaction type situation right here. That's a lot of points. People still see Chicago, that thing's under 10. I think Dallas comes out and rolls Dallas by 14. Give me the Cowboys at home.
Cappy app.
I'm taking the points. Chicago getting 9.5. That's
we're on the same page right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty big number. I'm not really a full believer in Dak, and they've really loosened up that offense in Chicago. So I'll take those 9.5.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna's Old Tequila Shots, Week 8, legendary Slippery Noodle downtown. Love to see you here with the free samples from Heaven Hill Distillery. And the great food and tons of FFA folks right now, which is outstanding. Miami, 3.5-point favorites on the road to Detroit. I have lost all trust in the Lions covering or doing anything in particular. 1 o'clock CBS on Sunday. Circle the Dolphins, lay the 3.5. Hello, Brent Halverson.
Yeah, I'm against you here, John. I think this is going to be where you see a little Jared Goff going off here. The total's 51.5.
Jared Goff going off.
Golfing off right there, baby. I think, again, they're 1-5, right? They're the Lions. They have looked horrible. They came out hot the first couple games of the year. Goff was putting up some passes. I think they're going to get back to that. I think this is going to be a big shootout right here. I'm looking for, and Miami might win the game, but I think that field goal might come into play. That hook's going to come in on my side. I'm taking the home dog plus 3.5. Give me the Detroit Lions.
Talk to me over there, Cappy.
I'm going with the fish. Laying the 3 and a hook.
All right, 1 o'clock to start on Fox. I think the Vikings coming off a bye week. And Tommy S.'s crew been very good so far this year. 3.5-point favorites at home against Arizona. Week to week, you can't really figure out what the Cardinals are doing. Part of the issue is they have a lot of talent, but consistently putting together has been an issue, not just this year, but the past 2 years. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 3.5. I'm going to take Kirk Cousins at home with the Vikings, Brent.
John, we're opposite of each other a lot this week, again, like we were last week.
I got to try to get back in this, man.
Arizona is back on track. DeAndre Hopkins is back. Kyler was using them. There was a shootout there. Now, they just kind of let the back door open a little bit there, but they didn't come in. They closed it out. They won by 7 last week. I think Arizona wins this game outright, but you're going to give me 3.5 points. I'm going to take it all day long. I'll probably buy a half, call it +4. Give me Arizona Cardinals on the road.
What do you got over there, Cappy?
Wow. Holby's going with Arizona money line, +6.5. Wow. I'm going to have to go with the Vikes here. I think they're steaming. It should be a pretty easy roll. I'm going to say Vikes by 10.
Week 8 of our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. 1 o'clock CBS. Vegas on the road in New Orleans. Both teams have not been good. I think New Orleans, because of injuries and such, have been more of the disaster. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the 1.5 as Vegas, so the favorites going in on the road. Give me the Raiders in New Orleans over the Saints, Brent.
Yeah, we're on the same side on this one, John. I mean, there's a lot of injuries. Plus, you got Jameis Winston getting benched. He's fine to play. He's been cleared. He was cleared last week. The Red Rifle's back. Red Rifle put up some points last week.
He also threw a couple interceptions and cost his team.
He also did, and that's Dalton being Dalton, right? And I think it's going to happen again. I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders on the road. I'll lay the 1.5 with you.
Cap.
Trap play. I'm going with Nolans. Putting on the beads, baby. I like that 1.5.
I didn't even have to show you anything, did I?
In the world is going on in New England right here. You got a quarterback controversy. They going to punt on Matt Jones here?
No, he's going to be starting. He took 90% of the snaps.
90%.
First team offense this week.
He needs to take 100%.
But he's going to get that easy yank, right? He does one thing bad.
No, it's not going to take a minute. Yeah,
comes out flat like he did last week. They looked horrible.
The genius may not be handling this very well. New England, however, 2.5-point favorites. They are on the road against the Jets. Give me that 2.5 and take the upstart Jets. Mike Greenberg's probably going to get aroused if he hears this right now, but 2.5 is too much for me not to take. Give me the Jets at home and that 2.5, Brent.
I'm with you. This line is really kind of fishy to me because I just don't even see this. You got a 5-2 New York Jets team against a 3-4 Patriot team that we all watched on TV and they looked horrible last week. So I think the wrong team's favored. This was going to be my Larceny lock, John, but I had one that kind of stepped up a little bit further on it. I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets plus 2.5. Again, always buy that hook up to +3. And give me the Jets at home.
What do you got there, Caps?
I just can't see New England coming through on this. I like the Jets. I've never thought I'd actually say that.
We haven't said those words in a long time.
Not at all. But
JTS.
I like that 2.5. I say the Jets win by a field goal.
And that final 1 o'clock start on CBS is in Philly. The fantastic Eagles so far. What a fat number. 11-point favorites at home against Pittsburgh. I don't know if that means more that the Eagles have been so impressive or that the Steelers have been terrible and how far the fall has been for them. I'm going to go ahead and circle the Eagles. I'm going to lay that 11, which is against my better judgment. Give me the Eagles at home, though, against the Steelers.
Laying the big wood right there, John.
One, man. I know it.
Big wood.
It's scary. I just can't do it. The Steelers suck. And I told everybody how bad the Steelers were going to suck. And they suck.
No, they do suck. And you're talking about an undefeated Eagle team, right? They're 6-0. They're 4-2 against the spread. Pittsburgh's 2-5 straight up. You know what? Pittsburgh, they were an 11-point dog against the Buccaneers, and they won the game by what was it, 10, I think, or something? They actually just destroyed Tampa Bay. I think this one's going to be a little closer than the books think here. I think Philly definitely wins the game. I'm going to take Pittsburgh plus those 11 juicy points.
What do you got, Caps?
Well, you can see the frustration on Tomlin's face. It's been pretty clear. I'm going to have to go with the Birds on this one. I'm laying the 11. I think it'll be 11.5 by game time.
All right, Titans coming off that win at home over the Colts this past Sunday, 4:05. That's a late afternoon window game on CBS on the road at Houston. I think Houston sucks. I don't think Tennessee's that great either, but they're tougher and they're better coached than anybody going in the AFC South. So lay the 2.5 and take the Titans on the road.
Yeah, I like that too, John. Real quick, let me jump back because I did miss my Lunazul Tequila shot of the week, and that was in the Jets game. I got so excited about the Jets, taking the Jets, talking about them, never have done that. Michael Carter. Take Michael Carter. If he's out there still, you've got to get him on your team. He is now the running back up there. Let's circle back down to this Tennessee-Houston game. My larceny lock of the week is in this game, John. I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans to easily cover this 2.5. Tennessee Titans minus 2.5, larceny lock of the week. We lost John's voice over there. Cappy, who you like over here? We got Tennessee-Houston.
I am going with the Houston Texans on this one.
Whoa.
I think Tennessee's going to have a little bit of a hiccup. That's going to move Houston up in the division. Obviously, the Colts aren't doing anything, so I'm going to go with the Texans on this one.
Well, I think you and I are opposite of every pick here, so somebody's going to be really good next week. All right.
You know what just happened there?
I
unplugged my mic myself with my foot. Wow. I've never done that before. Wow. Hey, Cam, have I ever unplugged myself before? I've never done that.
I wonder why things got peaceful for a minute, right? We were over here having a good old time.
I thought you guys were trying to tell me something right there. I've never unplugged myself with my foot. All right, I'm sorry. Where was I right now?
All right, we're going to go to we're going to skip over that game. We're going to go to the San Francisco Los Angeles Rams game, John.
All right, Christian McCaffrey made his debut last week with the 49ers. They're 1.5-point favorites on the road at the defending Super Bowl champion Rams. I'll play that 1.5. I'll take the Niners on the Rams. They don't have enough offense.
They don't have enough offense. This is one of those trap games right here, right? So you see what San Francisco did. The Rams have looked horrible. I think the Rams are going to come out and win this game. They're the home dog.
But I just said they don't have enough offense.
Give me the Rams, Johnny. Give me the Rams.
What do you got, Caps?
I don't believe in the Niners. I mean, McCaffrey, definitely a good acquisition, but I'm going to have to take the 1.5 and go with the Rams.
All right, who do you believe in this one? The Giants or the Seahawks? Who is for real? The Giants have been fantastic. They are, however, getting 3 points on the road in Seattle. Seattle with Geno Smith. It looks like Seattle kind of knew something about Russell Wilson, right? When they just said, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and send you on your way here. 3.5-point favorites at home. I'll circle the Seahawks. I'll take the home Seahawks -3. Brent Halvers.
I am against you here, my friend. I think the Seattle thing is going to kind of cloud up a little bit. These Giants, they keep winning. They're 6-1 against the spread. They're 6-1 straight up win record. I think
they are charmed.
And you're going to give me 3 points with this team, and I think they're the superior team here. I'm going to take those 3 points. I think the Giants win the game, honestly. Give me the Giants +3.
They are charmed, but the thing that they're doing better than they're not turning the football over right
That's right.
now.
Absolutely.
And that's such a key. We've seen this here. I mean, the Colts just turn the football over.
Daniel Jones has been running too. Yeah. I mean, he's been looking good.
The Giants have it, and that's one of the chief reasons why you see them starting off as good, and as good as we've seen them start off in a while. Cappy, what do you got?
I've been waiting on this one. I'm going with, this is my put it in your pipe and smoke it play. The Giants
+3.
Oh, I love it. We're on the same page with your put it in the pipe smoking. I love it.
All right, Brent Halvers is going to be very sad because on Sunday Night Football, Green Bay and Buffalo. Green Bay has been disappointing. Now, the Colts right now are the most disappointing team in the NFL. But closely behind the Colts would be Green Bay and Tampa Bay. Both the Bays right here. Buffalo, 11.5-point favorites at home. Normally against Aaron Rodgers, I'd say hell no. But in this case, they don't look like they have much of an offensive clue right now or the necessary answers to turn this around against this good Buffalo team. So give me the Bills, lay the 11.5 at home Sunday night, Brent.
I think that's a smart play, right? We've seen what Buffalo can do. They're the best team in the NFL. We've seen what the Packers can't do. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. But you know how crazy this NFL season has been? When you think this is going to be one of these big shootout blowouts, it doesn't. And all of a sudden, things shift a little bit. It's still Aaron Rodgers there. Granted, we have no receivers. We have no offense. You know what? Just because of that, go Pack, go. Give me the plus 11.5.
I knew you were going to go. You're kind of waving the pom-poms a little bit. Cappy, man, he's waving the pom-poms.
Halverson might be the biggest homer I've ever seen for Green Bay.
I bet against him the last 2 times, and I've covered both times.
All right.
I'm telling you right now.
He knows something. He might be on.
I'm an owner, Cap. I'm an owner. I got inside information.
I'm going to have to go with the buff. We're going to get Booth.
Yeah.
Minus 11.5. Let's go.
Big numbers.
Monday nighter, 8:15 in Cleveland, the Bengals, and an AFC North matchup with the Browns. And you can just kind of see it, can't you? You can see that offense coming together. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase putting up big numbers. There's so many weapons offensively. If the Bengals can just keep secure Joe Burrow for a minute, he's going to make magic happen. Lay that 3.5 on the road and take the Bengals, who look like offensively they are getting better and better at the end of October. Brent Halvers.
You're absolutely right. He's got 3 receivers that are just, you can go to any one of them at any point in time. You got Joe Mixon back there. You got a full arsenal back there. And I just look at these quarterbacks, right? Burrow versus Brissett. Brissett has done okay. He's done decent. The Bengals have been hot as of late. 5-2 against the spread, 4-3 on the season. I don't see it here. Bengals all the way. I'll take the Bengals. I'll lay the 3.5. Who day?
Cap.
I believe Burrows throws for 4 here. I've got to go with the Bengals minus 3 and a hook.
What pisses me off about that is because Kyle Udemark, who's in our league, Fantasy Football League, has Burrow. And as Lamar Jackson's numbers have decreased, Burrow's numbers have increased. Now, it's good for me because I also have Jamar Chase. But it's problematic because Burrow's putting up big numbers the last couple of weeks.
Oh, he has. He's finally got that groove back. And again, you got those receivers out there. Somebody's going to be open. And he's got trust and faith in every one of them. And they're looking good.
All right, final game we're going to do in Week 8. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul, Tequila Shots, Legendary Slippery, Noodle, me, Brent Halvers, and Cappy at the helm doing our Week 8 picks. All right, the Colts. So they disappoint in Tennessee on Sunday. On Monday, they make a quarterback change. Out goes the 37-year-old Matt Ryan. In comes the never started an NFL game in his life. Here you go. The Washington Commanders coming up on Sunday afternoon at 4:25. I know that I sound like a butthole here. I don't mean to, but I haven't seen it. I don't expect to see it. And frankly, until I do see it, I cannot be honest with you and say that Ellinger is going to be the difference in this. And as I've told you before, the problem is more the line that creates the foobar with the offense than it is the quarterback here. Like, is Matt Ryan done? Matt Ryan's done. But did he expect more from that offensive line? Should he deserve more from that offensive line? He did. The offensive line, good to see you, brother, is going to be the same. Sam Ellinger, while inspiring the crowd at the beginning, until I see it, I cannot believe it. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the 3 points, and I'm going to take the Commanders at Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday. I hope not, because then that is going to create a chain reaction where we'll see on Tuesday what the trade deadline may look like. And I really don't want the Colts to punt on the season, but I got to see Ellinger perform before I can buy it, because all anybody's told me is, well, this guy's a leader. This guy's great. What a great story, a Disney story. Let's make a great book one of these days. But nobody ever talks about how he's performed because we haven't seen it. I've got to see it to believe it, Brent.
Absolutely. This game, I look at this, I'm going to call this the double bounce back factor here, right? You got Washington coming off a high. They went into Lambeau Field and won the game against the Packers. Colts lost, right? Well, now there's a big switch up. There's a change. Ellinger, I think he's had a week to prepare. I think people are excited about this change. You had Matt Ryan, who couldn't move out of his shadow. He just has no wheels on him. He's just old. This kid can do that, and I think that's going to be, we talked earlier, I think that's going to be the big thing here. I'm looking for big things with this. I think it's a great move for the Colts. It's a great, we talked earlier as well. He's starting at home against the Commanders. He's going to have a big support staff around him. I think Ellinger gets it done. He gets his first W, and they cover that 3 easy. I think Colts by 10.
Wait, so you're going with
Colts.
You're going with Ellinger and the Colts right here?
Lay the 3.
Hey, listen, I think that Heineke sucks too, but I got to see it first. Cappy.
Wow.
Break the tie.
I just don't know if he's going to be up to tempo speed-wise. Obviously, we played some preseason. This is a whole different realm he's going to be in.
Cappy, I want him to. I want him to.
I'm going to have to go with Wash, +3.
I don't want to do it that way.
I don't either.
I want this to be a great story because Colts fans deserve a great story. They deserve something really, really nice. But I just can't, in my right mind, maybe if I drank a little bit more and got hammered or something, maybe, okay. But in my right mind right now, I can't do it.
John, I'm telling you, you got to lift those spirits up, right? You got to really look at it. It's not about it. I think the change was inevitable, right? Just as bad as they've looked, this is a spark, and they've got to take advantage of this spark and make it work. So I don't know.
Kyle Udemar, jump in here. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday with Ellinger? Man, I want it to be a Disney type of story, but I've just got to see that Disney story before I can believe it's going to happen. What say you?
I think I'm more concerned about the Colts offensive line against this Commanders defensive line. That combined with Ellinger's inexperience, and I just cannot pick the Colts to win this game.
I said this a couple of weeks ago. I said, hey, offensive line, if you don't want your line coach fired, play better. You've already played to the level in which you've got a veteran future Hall of Fame quarterback benched as a 37-year-old. I mean, if that doesn't spark you to be better, then nothing will. So if you don't see something better out of this offensive line, then Chris Ballard has completely screwed this up, and you're going to have to remake this thing because it's just not going to work. Because that's where you start.
Absolutely. And as our good friend Christian Webb down at the Brown County Music Center.
Shout out to Brown County Music Center. Starship with Mickey Thomas.
As he sent me earlier.
I got to go see We Built This City. I got to see them sing We Built This City.
Oh, absolutely.
I do.
We'll make that happen. Christian's the man. He said, I call problems around here opportunities. That's what's happening for Sam Ellinger. He's got the opportunity right now. He's got to capitalize on it. Again, I think there's been a big buzz around that. Colts, man. Colts got to get back on the winning track, right? Go horse.
I know you guys love great music. We Built This City by Starship with Mickey Thomas. Is that right up there on your list of great songs of all time?
It's up in the top 300. I mean, you know.
When they had the DJ Talk in the middle of it, they had me at that. DJ Talks, the San Francisco DJ Talks.
Yeah.
Looking out over that Golden Gate Bridge.
Stole your heart right there, right?
Morning traffic, bumper to bumper traffic.
That was on my playlist on my MySpace page.
I think it was number one. It's number one, but it may be one of the most hated songs of all time.
They just played it too much.
You think Christian can... I want to go see Mickey Thomas. And
Christian, I know you're listening out there. Let's come up with something for our man JMV to get him down to see that beautiful amphitheater down there.
I will tell you this. They are, every single week it seems, booking better and better entertainment down there. That is a venue, brother.
I tell you what, if you've not been down there, get down and check it out. It is one of the best new venues that we've had down there. I've had a pleasure of seeing a couple shows down there.
I did too.
There's not
Gordon Lightfoot for me.
Yeah, I saw Bob Weir and the Wolf Brothers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Yes.
And then Blackberry Smoke down there as well. It was outstanding. And I'll be down there November 10th. Dark Star Orchestra is on their 25th anniversary tour, and they're down there. Cappy, if you've not been, man, the furthest seat away is 100 feet. I mean, it is close. It is like a little Deer Creek inside.
That's really cool.
And the sound is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good. So,
plus, it's down to my little stomping ground, little B-town.
We take back roads all the way down there.
Oh, yeah.
So, Cappy, thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Legendary Slippery Noodle. Cappy's here. Brent Halverson rejoins us coming up in a minute. Quick break and we'll come back. The free samples are flowing here. Legendary Slippery Noodle, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots on a Thursday with 93.5 and 107.
A new season. A new QB.
A new look. Football is back.
And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for Cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Hey, it's JMV. Join me Friday at Whiskey Business for your chance at Commanders tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you Friday at Whiskey Business.
At Eskenazi Health, our patients are treated with compassion and skill. That's why Eskenazi Health is looking for professionals who share our mission and are dedicated to serving the community. As an employee of Indiana's top hospital for social responsibility and community health investment, you'll enjoy excellent benefits, competitive pay, and unwavering leadership support. Learn more about Eskenazi Health careers online at eskenazihealth.edu/careers.
Hey, John for Connecticut. I got the best water possible, Connecticut water. And Joe and John have great deals for you right now. I have the Connecticut Premier Series water softener. I would love to get $1,000 off. You know, right now, if you want the best that is Connecticut, you can get $1,000 off. Just contact my friends and make it happen, too. And the K5 in-home drinking water station, my doctor, Dr. Dave, said, you got to drink more water. Come on, John, you got to drink more water. You got to hydrate better. Stop drinking all that crap and then drink more water. And I did. You want to know why? Because the K5 is in my home. It makes it easy. $500 off the K5. So let's all get on the same page with great water in your home like mine with my friends from Connecticut. That's Joe and John and the two Indy area locations, Northeast Side Castleton, South Side US 31 and Southport Road. The Connecticut Water app. Download that to your smartphone or device today or online, ConnecticutIndy.com.
Don't you love fall in Indy, but you hate the paint? Well, do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
It's a two-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
That's because Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
It was done in 2001 and still going strong. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
No paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, it's John for PAI. We grow hair. Indy.com. Your real growing hair again is just a phone call away. Darren Andrews has all the info that you need. Now, I will tell you this. If you see me out, for example, here at the Slippery Noodle or coming up tomorrow at Whiskey Business up at Pendleton Pike, I'll tell you all about it. It does work. So if you want your real growing hair again, make that call. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Okay, 3 more climbers, 7 loggers.
Ted's sustainably sourced logging company is growing a new branch.
What about truck driver contracts?
Which means a new HR manager will be the first hire to fall.
Then we'll need to staff up the warehouse.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Is it yay or nay for snow this winter? You might want to hold your horses, but not those horses. Yes, the Colts. Tonight I'll take a look at weather data from the past decade to forecast how much snow we'll get and how that ties in with the Colts' performance. Tonight at 11.
Everybody's talking about So Help Me Todd.
Must be nice to be perfect.
It's exhausting.
A new So Help Me Todd, tonight after Goes, on CBS.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Football and Fireball is a match made in heaven. And by heaven, of course, we mean Twin Peaks. Spice things up next game day with a shot of their favorite cinnamon whiskey. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Join us this Monday at Buffalo Wild Wings in Anderson for Bud Light Blue Monday. Drink ice cold Bud Light and sign up for your chance to win Colts tickets as JMV broadcasts live. Bud Light, brewed for the Colts and their fans.
Decades of tradition.
And this is a moment that's memory for me.
Tailgating in any kind of weather.
The snow coming down nearly in chunks now.
Face painting and school colors. All the ingredients for the American Standard College Football Saturday. Big Ten powerhouses clash in Happy Valley as Ohio State takes on Penn State at Beaver Stadium. Kickoff at noon. American Standard College Football Saturday on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We got a lot of FFAers in the house. Indiana FFA right there. Got Illinois FFA. What high school are you guys from? North Putt, baby. Shout out to North Putt. Hey, what if somebody were to tell you that South Putt is better than North Putt? Would you guys take offense to that? All right.
Yeah, you should. Damn right.
What if somebody were to tell you Greencastle is better than North Putt? Would you guys take advantage? Does Greencastle suck? Yeah, Greencastle sucks. North Putt, shout out. FFA is here. All right, we're back at Slippery Noodle, legendary Slippery Noodle, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Got our friend Mike Chappel coming up at the top of the hour. Sam Ehlinger, the starter on Sunday. We'll talk about that. I'll double back to the Pacers stuff from last night in Chicago in a minute. So hold on a second, Kyle. Do you have the Jamar Chase info? I just went off on how this Bengals offense was on the rise here and how Joe Burrow was in a groove here. And Jamar Chase is on my fantasy team and one of the big producers on my fantasy team. So then we hear today that he's going to miss some time. What do you got?
Yeah, I think both of our fantasy teams are going to take a hit. He has a hip injury. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks.
What? What's wrong with his hip? Man, that stinks. Because you could just kind of see. You can kind of see, and Kyle, you know that because you have Joe Burrow, and we were just talking about that. Hey, good to see you, man. How you doing? You could kind of see this team offensively finally finding that groove because it wasn't something that was easily found, Brent, by them in the first month plus of the season. But in the past couple of weeks, you could really see it, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. And again, we just talked about it, and we got Cam Schefter over there bringing us the hot news off the press.
Yeah, I'm pissed off at Cam, man. That breaks my heart.
It does mine. And you know what else he just said? I've got to do a little research on. My boy Lazard's going to be out. Whoa.
They're both on my team.
Whoa.
So wait a minute. How do I pick 900 wide receivers and all of them get hurt?
Well, what it is, John, it is called Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law.
Well, this Murphy guy can kiss my butt.
This Murphy guy, yeah, I tell you.
This stinks.
Oh, man.
So Lazard's on the bench. I got to hook in. I've got to get Christian Kirk back in. I mean, I guess it's a good thing I drafted like 900 wide receiver. But seriously, you could see Cincinnati. Now, granted, we talk about Tyler Boyd. I mean, you talk about T. Higgins when healthy. You mentioned Mixon as well. If any team out there at that position can withstand that loss for a couple of weeks, a month, or whatever it's going to be, they can. But, man, you can just see them coming together. That is so Cincinnati sports right there.
It really is. You know what this brings up, John? We've never done this before.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something kind of groundbreaking here. After the Larceny Lock, Lunasville Shot show we just did,
yes,
I'm going to throw an asterisk pickup of the week. A Lunasville Shot of the week is now Tyler Boyd. Go get him.
Yeah, you got to throw that back in.
Yeah, absolutely. Changes the whole landscape of things.
Well, the reason why we bring that up is because I know you're Cincinnati and you guys are going, wait a minute, we're in Indy, we don't care about that. But because we were just talking about how well this Bengals offense started to play and how much better they were getting, and then that throws a wrinkle in their plans without a doubt. The Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, me, Brent Halverson, Cappy a little bit earlier. That podcast, 1075thefan.com. The legendary Slippery Noodle is where we are today. Hey, by the way, tomorrow's show is going to be live at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike. So Pendleton Pike coming up tomorrow at Whiskey Business. Now, if those of you out there, if you're like me and you're skeptical, but you got to see it to believe it, but you do want to see it, you want to see what happens live, we're going to have tickets for you tomorrow. Commanders Colts tickets. We're going to be at Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike, coming up tomorrow. multi-pair of Commanders-Colts tickets for you. So if you want to see for yourself what the Colts believe, Sam Ehlinger being some sort of solution to what ailed them offensively, you can see that live if you win those coming up tomorrow. Again, Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike. That's a Bud Light Blue Friday coming up on tomorrow's show. I do want to revisit this, too. 239-1070. I got a couple of minutes for your calls. I want to revisit what I was talking about regarding Ehlinger. And a lot of you are saying, man, you're just such a butthole. Why do you have to be that way? All right, why can you not embrace Sam Ehlinger? He's going to be great. He's going to be so much better than Matt Ryan. And I told you why, because I haven't seen it, and I don't expect it. And because, really, before anything else, if this offensive line doesn't play better, then nobody back there has any chance. So I think it's logical for me to take that opinion of a wait and see and a non-belief until you actually see it done. But what I have to ask you is this. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? Because the Colts told you? What have you seen that makes you a believer? Do you believe it because this is probably going to be a last-ditch opportunity to regain any sort of season opportunity, to have any interest in the remainder of the season? Why do you believe right now? Because for the most part, all we've heard is, well, the guy's going to be a great leader. Guys in the locker room love him. Coaching staff believes in him. Organization believes in him. Great story. All that is absolutely true. But the one thing we haven't heard is, because we haven't seen it, why do you expect it? Legs? Scrambling ability? Escapability? Why do you believe it if you're on board with this Ehlinger move, like the Colts are right now, believing that this can make this offense better, believing that it's better than Matt Ryan, believing that it's better than Nick Foles? Why do you believe that? 239-1070. We'll get back to that. I know last night you guys are all on me about Miles Turner. I will say this. You guys are going to say, well, you're just going to give excuses. I'm not giving excuses. The guy hadn't played in 10 months. The guy looked like he hadn't played in 10 years. I mean, seriously. 10 months, 10 years. Didn't have a lot of athleticism. Didn't have a lot of juice. Didn't have a lot of hop. Hopefully that comes back. He better have plenty of motivation, my man. He better have plenty of motivation, because I sit here right now on a stinking island and support him day after day, and you can't do a 1 of 7 and have me try to talk nice about you. So I'm going to go ahead and make an excuse here. I'm going to make an excuse. It doesn't matter. He's going to be gone at the trade deadline anyway. Hey, listen, the Lakers are going to make a move, and that move is going to be here. At some point, we're going to be talking about Russell Westbrook coming here. He's not going to be playing, but he's going to be coming here. At some point, that's going to happen, because Rob Pelinka is going to make a last-ditch effort to save his ass in L.A., which is on the line right now. You saw them lose again. They're 0-4, lost in Denver last night. They're going to make that move. So the best thing for you would be that Miles gets back into his athletic form, his playing form, and then ends up someplace else. And ends up, in this case, I know nobody wants to see Westbrook here. He's not going to be here. I mean, they're going to trade him here, and they're going to buy him out, and he's going to go and end up someplace else. But I'll make an excuse for him last night. They have a couple of blocks, some rebounds. But he looked like a dude, honestly. He looked like a dude that hadn't played in 10 months. When's the last time you didn't play? I mean, none of you play because you guys all suck. When's the last time that you didn't play for 10 months, and then came right out and I'm trying. I'm really trying. But that wasn't good last night. But that's exactly what I think everybody expected. You don't play for 10 months, you get back into that situation. That's not good. I guess if you're looking for a saving grace, it's not like anybody else on that team can guard anybody, their shadow, anybody else. So that was going to be an issue. But, yeah, it was a struggle in Chicago last night. And as I mentioned, too, regarding the Pacers, that's what you're going to see. They're going to get down big. They're going to come back, because every NBA team does. And then you're going to screw up like what we saw in that fast break. And then Taylor had that bad foul that led to a 4-point play or whatever it was, and really kind of changed the momentum when the Pacers were only down 4 in the second half right there. So you're going to probably see that more times than not this season, so you're going to have to really embrace on those little things. All right, quick break and we'll come back. Mike Chappell, top of the hour. We'll get back into the Sam Ehlinger conversation. Brent Halverson rejoins as well. We're at the Slippery Noodle, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Thursday. It's 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, and I got to tell you, I see why. Since I started a testosterone replacement program with Affinity, my energy, mental focus, drive, everything is up, and the physical benefits are amazing. Check them out at feelgreatindy.com. Guys, you can improve the way you look, the way you feel. You can build muscle and lose fat. Affinity will give you the roadmap. Go to feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
O'Reilly. Don't miss See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on wiper blades, headlight bulbs, and more. Right now, get up to a $20 gift card after mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Sylvania bulbs. Plus, get double O Rewards points with your purchase. Prepare for the weather ahead during See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct different, you have to know our history. It goes back 70 years to a renowned diamond cutter overseas. From there came years of diamond cutting, manufacturing, and wholesaling, supplying exquisite fine diamonds to top high-end jewelers. Eventually, those same wholesalers began selling direct to you, and that started a revolution. Today, we are a global diamond powerhouse with hundreds of thousands of customers and an impeccable reputation. But our core values remain the same as always. Our diamonds are the highest quality cut by the best craftsmen. Our prices are the most compelling. Our selection is staggering, and our warranties and guarantees are unbeatable. And our entire team's only goal is to help you find the diamond of your dreams. So as the story unfolds and the revolution continues, we invite you into our home to enjoy a jewelry shopping experience unlike any other. Born in craftsmanship, rooted in quality, and thriving in passion. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, Sean here. You know I love playing pickup basketball, right? Love it. I tried to do it as much as possible. I like to yell loud cuss words. I like to stroke the three, and I get mad when I miss. But it has become increasingly difficult to find a place to play. That's where Pickup USA Fitness in Noblesville. It's a better way to play a fitness. It really, what it is, a fitness club in Noblesville. It's providing basketball players looking for a pickup game, a new place to hoop. You guys are going to love this, I promise. If you love to hoop and you want to play, but you struggle in finding a spot, this is it. It's open now for pre-sales membership, starting at just $39.99 a month. You are going to love it. So many courts, so much space, and did you know their pickup games are reffed? You guys are going to have a guy blowing a whistle for you, too, out there. Reffing your games, pickup style, that takes it to another level. Pickup USA Fitness, it's in Noblesville. The court is ready for you. It's a whole lot of that and just so much more, really. You go ahead and log on right now. Membership starting at just $39.99 a month. That's pickupusafitness.com in Noblesville. Log on. Make sure that I sent you. I'll tell you what. If you guys all want to get together sometime, I'll come up there and I'll go ahead and drop like 9 or 10 threes right in your eyeball. We'll all do this together. We'll do some pickup together. Pickupusafitness.com. That's pickupusafitness.com in Noblesville today.
Okay, 3 more climbers, 7 loggers.
Ted's sustainably sourced logging company is growing a new branch.
What about truck driver contracts?
Which means a new HR manager will be the first hire to fall.
Then we'll need to staff up the warehouse.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Johnny for CarX. CarX, your 14 Central Indiana location. Joe Childers run locations. There's one near you. I can tell you this, so I'm driving a truck. It's one of our vehicles. It's got 298,000 miles on it. You know why? It's because I maintain. I got the upkeep on this. I do that by utilizing CarX and the Joe Childers run locations. They have helped me out so much. They can help expand the life expectancy of your set of wheels as well. Talking oil changes, tires, brakes, brake pads, anything mechanically speaking, all that and more at your Central Indiana CarX location. Also, Joe Childers and CarX, the weekly sponsor of the high school football game of the week right here. And Bob Lovell every Friday right here with me as well. 14 Central Indiana CarX locations, one near you. To find it is online. It's CarX.com today.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Hey, it's John here for PAI. We grow hair. Indy.com. That's 888-724-5129. If you want to get your real growing hair again, Brent, I tell you what, Brent Halverson digs mine. You dig mine. Everybody digs my hair. So if you want that real growing hair like me, it's Darren Andrews at 888-724-5129. And we grow hair. Indy.com today.
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens. The big fall sale has now been extended through Halloween, and there's even more savings. Annuals, including mums, fall yard art, and pumpkins are all 50% off now through the 31st. 20 to 50% off all nursery stock, 50% off all pottery, and now 50% off Miss Mary's fall decor. Don't forget the Kids Zone this Saturday. Pumpkins, the pumpkin launcher, and more. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com. That's sundown.gardens.com.
The Michael Lewis era of Ball State men's basketball has arrived. Secure season tickets or plan a game day in Muncie by visiting ballstatesports.com or charge by phone 888-BSU-TICKET.
The Pacers are in Washington to battle the Wizards. Tomorrow night at 7 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
It takes him a second to get on the stool because he's under 5 feet tall.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We are back at the Slippery Noodle, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Shout out to Aaron Johnson a little bit earlier, who runs Waste Management. You know, Ray's Trash Service made a transition into Waste Management. Ray's Trash obviously had been a sponsor with this show and doing Ray's Trash Anything Goes. Well, Aaron Johnson came by here today and said, hey, I know, JMV, that you love Teachers Treasures. You support Teachers Treasures, as we all should with our great educators out there. And, you know, at the Colts games, they throw the footballs in the back of the trash truck back in the day. That's going to be a Waste Management trash truck out on the field coming up on Sunday right before the half. And Aaron's going to get out there and throw footballs in there. They're going to donate $2,500 to Teachers Treasures. I cannot thank them enough. When you think about it, too, we go back to a couple of weeks ago, I shot over at Butler. My man Bruce Kidd helped raise over $6,000 for Teachers Treasures. So in the past month, we're going to be upwards of over $8,000 for Teachers Treasures. Love you, Margaret, and love all that they do, and I love our educators. And you can watch for that coming up on Sunday afternoon in the Commanders-Colts game with our friends Aaron Johnson and Waste Management. That was absolutely awesome. All right, Paul asked me if we expect to see Shaquille Leonard coming up on Sunday. I do. We'll ask Mike Chappel if he does. Mike's going to join us coming up on the other side. Slippery Noodle, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. It's a Thursday on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Helzberg Diamonds presents The Guy Who Did His Homework. When it came to Jill's engagement ring, Brady knew exactly what to get.
Okay, so I came up with a design and showed it to all of our friends.
She'll love it.
Then he went to Helzberg. Their incredible selection of high-quality, lab-grown, and natural diamonds made creating that special ring easy. Her reaction?
I love it. Can't wait to tell everybody.
Everybody might know about it.
Be like Brady. Create the ring of your dreams at a Helzberg near you or at Helzberg.com. Ask now about special financing offers.
Is it yay or nay for snow this winter? You might want to hold your horses, but not those horses. Yes, the Colts. Tonight I'll take a look at weather data from the past decade to forecast how much snow we'll get and how that ties in with the Colts' performance. Tonight at 11.
Everybody's talking about So Help Me Todd.
Must be nice to be perfect.
It's exhausting.
A new So Help Me Todd, tonight after Goes, on CBS.
Hey, everybody, we've all heard stories from friends and family about something really bad that happened. You're in an accident, there's a painful life-altering injury, huge medical bills, even wrongful death. All from someone else's fault. In fact, some of you are probably dealing with that right now, so that's where the attorneys at Parr Ritchie Law Firm can help. Tony Patterson, Paul Cruz, and John McLaughlin lead a team with over 70 years of collective courtroom experience and millions of dollars in jury awards and settlements for their clients. Now, none of us can change the past. Just know this. Tony, Paul, and John are on your side to help you and your family going forward. They're recognized by Super Lawyers and U.S. News and World Report as being among the leading injury lawyers in Indiana. So even if you're unsure you have a case, give Parr Ritchie a call. They're going to listen, give you their free experienced legal opinion. Call 317-269-2509 or visit parrinjury.com. That's P-A-R-R injury.com today.
Thad Matta is back as Butler University's men's basketball coach, and single-game tickets for Hinkle Fieldhouse this season are on sale now. Matta has reshaped the team's roster and recommitted these Bulldogs to the Butler way. The Dogs are pushing to sell out Thad's first game November 7th versus New Orleans and need you there. 4-game packages are also available starting at just $65. Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets to get your seats. Be part of Coach Matta's return. Get to Hinkle this season.
Chantilly engagement ring, Caspian sapphire and diamond wedding band, Venus ruby and diamond wedding band. You've got to come to Shane Company to see our uniquely designed rings. Our in-house design team travels the world for inspiration to bring you stunning new styles in every price range. Try on any ring, hold it in your hand and feel its weight. Look closely at it. You'll be amazed with the design and the details. A Shane Company ring looks gorgeous from every angle. Choose from a range of engagement ring styles, from timeless classic rings to decorative floral rings, in platinum, yellow gold, white gold, and our lovely signature shade of rose gold. You'll see our team's passion for beautiful design when you look at our wedding bands as well. The largest selection of high-quality bands for everyone, and every budget. Your rings are a symbol of your everlasting love. Visit the store or shop online to find the perfect rings for you.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Got a great idea for you. You hear about this all the time, don't you? Oh, the best sports book this and the best sports book day. Hold on. I have got the best for you. That's Caesar Sportsbook. Thank you very much. Caesar Sportsbook. Use the promo code RadioFull today. Get that first bet risk-free up to $2,500. I mean, I'm sure it's at $1,250 is the number. $1,250 you get back in free site credit if you don't win. So, really, first bet, you feel really good about it, whatever. If you win, great. If you don't, you get that back in site credit. For example, Commanders Colts coming up on Sunday. As it stands right now, Colts 3.5-point favorites. Sam Ehlinger under center. We shall see. Utilize that or whatever else you like in this, but use Caesar Sportsbook and the promo code RadioFull today. That's Caesar Sportsbook. Download the app to your smartphone or device today. Promo code RadioFull. Caesar's rewards are great, too, by the way. Tickets, free stays, experiences, and just stuff that nobody else besides Caesar's can offer. That's Caesar Sportsbook. Download the app today. Use that promo code RadioFull. Open to new users in Indiana who are 21 years or older. If qualifying bet loses bet amount, return to site credit must use within 14 days. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone else has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Fall in Indy. And since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
Was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad, and I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Hey, don't Don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Tavern Tour 22, brought to you by Evan Williams, continues at the Slippery Noodle. Join JMV today from 3 to 6 p.m. Great food in Evan Williams, the Slippery Noodle.
It's the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your tickets now. It's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper, make it fast. I'm in a damn hurry.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
If you guys know the Slippery Noodle, you know it's legendary. Week 8, Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. You know, hey, Bill, we couldn't start the show. We had to wait until 5 o'clock to start the show without you, man. It's good to see you. Tavern Tour Stop shirts are available right now. Hats are available right now, so just come on up here and get them. The FFA is in town. Shout out to the Future Farmers of America in the house today as well. Brent Holverson, Cappy a little bit earlier, and again a shout out to Aaron Johnson of Waste Management. Little $2,500 donation coming up on Sunday when they throw the football down on the field to our friends at Teachers Treasures, Matt Godbout, Aaron Johnson, and Griff. Man, thank you guys. Because seriously, my mom was an educator. My wife was an educator until some numbnuttery happened right there too. And she was among the best at doing it. And it's tough. It seems like every single year it gets tougher and tougher. And I know that I have a lot of teacher/educator listeners out there. You know how I feel about you. You know how much I love you. And we try to help out as much as we can with our friends at Teachers Treasures. Margaret and the gang over there. $2,500 coming their way. There's Michelle right there, by the way. Say hi to Michelle. Say hi. Inside the lounge via YouTube Live. There she is. Yeah, and really it's been a great month because you think about it. Bruce Kidd set up this thing. We raised over $6,000 for Teachers Treasures a couple of weeks back, shooting free throws over at Butler. So love you guys, and thank you to Waste Management and Aaron Johnson for doing that because of all the things that I do here, and this is a blast. I mean, I love doing this. I love coming to the Slippery Noodle. I love going on Fridays to a Bud Light Blue Friday and giving you guys a chance to go to the game on Sunday with Bud Light, Zinc Distributing over at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike tomorrow. But that's the one thing at the top of that list is helping out Teachers Treasures and helping out the educators out there because they need us. They really, really need us. Now, really, more than ever, they need us. So thank you, Aaron Johnson, and thank you, Waste Management, for that. Also, a little bit earlier, Matthew Paris of the Washington Times, his side of covering the Commanders for that matchup coming up on Sunday. Meantime, Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline from CBS 4 and Fox 59. He broke the story earlier this week about Sam Ehlinger being elevated to the starting quarterback and the benching of the 37-year-old Matt Ryan. It is Mike Chappel with us. Mike, I've said this because I had to make our picks on the game on Sunday today. And while I hope it works, while I hope that it turns into some sort of Disney movie one of these days that everybody can enjoy, because we know this, the Colts fans need some enjoyment. It's been few and far between over the years. I just can't honestly believe that it's going to work until I see it work once. Is that a fair assessment going into Sunday with Sam Ehlinger under center?
Yeah, I'm on that train with you. Tom Brady and Kurt Warner, those are great stories, but boy, they just don't come around often. Once every 25 years. Yeah, everybody's talked high of Sam, and for good reason. I mean, he's done things the right way. He had a great preseason, which, okay, at least he had a great preseason, but he's not played. He's not played but 18 snaps, no passes and all that. And until you play, you just don't know. It's hard to get super optimistic is great, but to have realistic expectations when you've got nothing to base it on other than practice running the scout team in preseason. I want more. I think it'd be great if he goes out there and not lights it up to 300 yards, but just does his job, makes the throws, sort of manages, but more than that. And they come out of there and they win 23-20. I think that'd be great. And then we'll see where this thing goes, because the alternative is not very encouraging. You know, I'm not sure how you go back to Matt Ryan after you sort of, you know, there's a lot of nasty phrases you could use, but they threw him away. They just did. And Nick Foles has been sort of yo-yoed around from, 3-2, now back to 2. So it needs to work for a lot of reasons. I hope it works for the kid, for Sam. But history says, tap the brakes a little bit.
So Mike Chappel of CBS 4 and Fox 59. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. The Colts are kind of fortunate here, and here's why. They're a 3-3-1 team, and a fan base that still is hoping that they start consistently playing better. You make a quarterback change. Normally, if you're talking about 31 other NFL markets out there, they're probably all suggesting, this team is tanking, this team is surrendering, the white flag is up, they're done. But here, the Colts have sold this fan base on, hey, this is new, even though you haven't seen it. We believe in it. We believe it's going to work, and this is the path that we're going to take. So they are kind of fortunate with that regard, because most of these NFL cities would say, all right, well, this team is done before Halloween.
Well, and there's a segment of the fan base that's been calling for Sam as well.
Yes.
So it's not like the team's shoving him down their throats. There's people, of course, people, media, all of everyone. You always like the guy that's not playing. It's just the way it is. You love, if the starting quarterback is struggling, you want the backup because he's not the starting quarterback. So, but keep in mind that they're not making this move, I don't think, because they want to. They sort of have to. Well, first of all, they have to because Ryan wouldn't have been ready to play this week. I mean, he said, well, maybe it would have been close, and you never know, and all this. But there's a very, very, very real chance that the shoulder wouldn't have been ready for him to play. Well, they took that out of the mix when Frank said that even without the injury, this move would have been made. So it's just difficult to wrap your arms around it when we've been around long enough to know that generally these things don't work out the way you hope. Maybe the fact that he's new and fresh and brings a totally different approach to the position than what Matt Ryan did, there will be an immediate boost. Sort of like they threw the ball 58 times against Jacksonville, and it worked because maybe Jacksonville really wasn't prepared for it. Well, then Tennessee was, and then it didn't work so well. So we'll see. And what's got to happen is everybody around him has got to play better. I mean, people in the locker room were talking about, well, it's 11 of us and we didn't do enough. I wish somebody would have been a little more forceful to say, what can you do to help Sam? Well, we can not get him beat up and sacked and injured. I wish there was a little bit more of that. And when we were talking in the press room, this is one of those really, really strange dynamics to where I can make a strong case that the injury mucks it up, but you can make a strong case that they shouldn't have done this, that Matt Ryan is the reason they're 3-3-1. He's led 3.5 fourth quarter comebacks, overtime comebacks. But he's also the reason that they're 3-3-1 with the losses. So they just could no longer tolerate the mistakes most of them were his. I mean, some of the interceptions were forced, some of them weren't. So it was sort of like they sort of had to do it. I would much rather and this is just me, I would much rather if they had come out on Monday and said, Matt's hurt, the shoulder's, sprained shoulder, grade 2, blah, blah, and he's going to miss a game or two. And until then, Sam's our quarterback, and then we'll reevaluate. To just say, now Sam's our quarterback for the rest of the season, that just kind of left Matt hanging out to dry. And I don't know how, barring injuries to Ellinger or Foles, you go back to Matt Ryan. I don't know how you do it.
Hey, Mike, do you view this at all as a surrender?
No. No. And boy, Frank took umbrage to that, where that's not in our DNA. And he should say that. But I tell you one thing, we talked to guys in the locker room, and the overriding word was shocked. I'm shocked. I was shocked at the coach's decision, but I'm shocked. And it wasn't one or two guys; it was a lot of them. If they're waving the white flag, what do you think DeForest Buckner and Stephon Gilmore and Ryan Kelly and these guys are thinking? What do you mean waving a white flag? We got 10 games to go, and
I would tell you this, hey Mike. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think the real tank would have been if you continued to go with Matt Ryan the way that was going. That to me is the tank.
And I understand that. I totally understand. That's why I say I could argue both ways, and I think I can make a strong argument both ways. But your point is accurate. All I'm saying is that if I'm players and coaches and GMs with job security on the line, and this is just me, I would rather try to get through it with Matt Ryan and hope, like they had the last couple of years, that things came together late and you could make a push, as opposed to saying we're going to try to get through this with a sixth-round draft pick who's never played. That's my only point. But you make a strong point. Is how long do you stick with something when it's not working? And it's totally reasonable, and I can't argue too much. All I'm saying is I think Ryan, long run, gives you a better chance to come out of this and look decent, maybe even competitive for a wild card spot, which I know it's crazy to think about, as opposed to go on this route. But I can't argue too strong against what you're saying.
Hey, Mike, was the reason why they just came out and said when they did there was Ellinger the rest of the year, obviously with Ryan not being back, was that because of the contractual language and trying to save money on the back end of this? Is that why? That
I don't know. I didn't think there was anything game related, play related to the contract. If let's say he doesn't play again the rest of this season, I don't know how. Maybe I'm just way wrong on the contract. I don't think it's got any playtime incentives and all that, and what you owe him next year is what you owe him next year, unless you cut him before the third day of the league year and all that. I don't know. If somebody knows, they can correct me, but I just didn't think this contract involved, well, if he doesn't play anymore, we don't owe him this, because I don't think there's playtime incentives in there.
I thought that at the end of the year, if he can't pass a physical, then they're going to be on the hook for upwards of $8 or $9 more million than they would otherwise. Because clearly at the end of the year, clearly when they're able, they're going to cut him. But that was the scenario that I thought.
And from everything they say, this is like a 1 or 2 or 3 week injury. It's not like this is a seat unless he goes out and gets surgery or whatever. So yeah, and he's due $12 million next year of his base is guaranteed, and then he's owed a $7 or $7.5 million roster bonus if he's on the roster the third day of the league year. So that's why I don't know that it matters. I was going to say when they cut him, they're going to owe $18 million in dead money, but you save 17. So I just don't know how he wouldn't pass his physical in January, because I get the impression he thought he could almost have played this week. He said it would have been close. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but I think that's the way it is.
So do you think that there's no way in the world he quarterbacks another game here?
Outside of injury, I don't know how it would. I mean, again, 10 games to go, and if the line doesn't get his act together and there's still pressure and quarterback's getting hit, then I can see them getting down to him. But I don't know how I don't know how they get to him unless it's injury. I just don't. It seems like they're committed to finding out what Sam Ehlinger can do. And I understand that, but I thought they would have waited until December to find out what they've got, because they need to, we've talked about this, they need to find their quarterback next off season in the draft. They just have to. And at some level, you got to know what you have in Ehlinger. You need to know if is he a possible starter? Is he simply going to be a long-term backup? Which there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. It's such a mess, and until they get the quarterback thing fixed long term, here's where we are. I just don't know how this thing plays out. The one stat I threw out there which stunned me is since 1966 they've had one Colts quarterback win his first career start. One. And it was Chris Chandler in 1988. So it's not like, there's a lot of reason, this guy did it, this guy did it. No, one guy did it. I hope he plays well. I hope the team gets its act together. But if the other parts don't play better, if the offensive line doesn't play better, if they can't run the ball, you want Sam throwing the ball 50 times? I mean, really? So it's so much more than just Sam Ehlinger and hoping it works out, because if it doesn't work out, it's going to be a long November and December in Indianapolis.
I agree. It's Mike Chappel of CBS 4 and Fox 59 on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I brought this up. Kevin Bowen and I had a spirited discussion yesterday because he is all on board with, you got to check out all these alternatives of other teams that may want guys that make sense to trade by the Tuesday trade deadline. I countered with this. To me, with a team that right now is 3-3-1, and really, whether you're 3-3-1 or 3-4-1 or 3-3-2, you got to be really careful how you handle this, because in the eyes of a lot of Colts fans, you're still in it. So if you go off on what some people could get in their mind as a fire sale before the trade deadline happens, you can lose some folks around here more than you're losing folks right now. You believe that?
Oh, you'd lose. Frank was I can't remember who it was. One of our guys asked Frank if going to Sam was the sign of you're waving the white flag. And again, Frank pushed back, and he should have. But if you start, I'm not talking getting rid of 4 or 5 guys. If you get rid of one guy, if you get rid of – now, Kevin asked a really good question to Ryan, and that was, have you thought about asking for a trade? That was a really good question. And Ryan didn't say no. What he said was, hey, it's only been 2 days. So, but if I'm Matt Ryan, why wouldn't you? I'm not sure what you could get for him or how many people would need him, but this is a guy that, in the right situation, which we thought it was going to be here, can play. He can play when he's not under siege. So I could see some playoff team that, maybe doesn't like their backup or whatever. I could see that. But if they go and Stephon Gilmore or I don't know, I'm sure you guys threw all the names out. Ryan Kelly, DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, and Ngakwe, just guys like that. Yeah.
If they get rid of a guy like that, what else is it telling you that other than you're looking ahead to next year? I don't know what other message you could be sending to your fan base. And again, I can't remember if it was Kelvin. No, it was the guy who was the guy I work with at Fox 59, and he was saying, this is a good thing because, hey, if it goes in the dumpster, look what you're doing to your draft stock next year. You're really getting prime a prime draft pick. Well, you want to sell that to your fan base in November, December, and bank on next year. And again, if that, they'll never say that, of course, but if they make moves in that direction, what message does that tell your veterans that are still here? Naheem Hines and all these guys, they don't care about next year. They don't care about rebuilding and maybe we get a quarterback because things change and maybe the roster changes big and all that stuff. So I can't imagine a player on that roster would embrace, if we're really bad this year, look at the draft picks we can get next year. I just think that doesn't happen. Maybe a portion of the fan base would like that, but boy, having to go through, there's 10 games to play. That's what's crazy. We've had all of this going on, and there's still 10 games to play. And you can look on that as good and bad, but there still is, if they could just get their act together, there's still a chance. And it's not a Buster Douglas chance against Mike Tyson. They still got a chance to do something, but only if they start playing offense like they know what they're doing. Defense is playing lights out. Special teams, hit and miss. Well, the kicker's been pretty good. But I don't think it's I don't think they're cashing in this year. But if Sunday doesn't go well and then they decide to make some moves, then the fan base is going to have to accept it because it's really kind of obvious what they're doing.
Well, and here's how I look at it as well. I think that, again, Sunday is going to be the tail of the tape, so to speak. I think that they take their cue off of, and that and the interest that you may or may not get from other teams out there. But I mean, you're right. And see, the other thing, Mike, what have we heard recently about this team or this organization over and over? Well, they're slow starters, they get their act together, and then they close. And so much of this stuff flies against what they have talked about, what they have sold people around here. And I completely would understand why people would be ultra pissed if they would end up going down that path. Completely understand it. And the other thing is, too, it's all about trying to get up for these three elite-level quarterbacks. And, Mike, there is not a chance in hell they get up there for that. They've got like 4 or 5 teams in front of them, legitimately in front of them. They are too good to get up to where they need to get one of those guys.
Right, and that's the problem. And this league does not reward mediocrity. You got to, that's why you get luck. That's why you got Peyton Manning, is because you were awful. You were awful the year before. And that's so you're right, because it's one thing to say, well, whatever it costs to move up in the draft to get that guy, you do it. But if there's 2 or 3 teams ahead of you that have no intention of trading that pick, you've got no chance. So it's really going to be interesting, and that's why. But again, they've got to come out of the draft with a guy that they can. God, I hate to say live with, because that's hardly a way to build a franchise. But we've said this until the cows come home. Until they get this quarterback thing fixed, it ain't going to matter. And what's crazy is I was on board as much as anybody. We thought that they had the quarterback thing fixed for at least a year, maybe 2, with Matt Ryan. I was much more on board with this than I was with Wentz, although I thought Wentz might be a long-term, a 4 or 5 year guy. But I was really on board with Ryan. Not in my wildest dreams did I think the offensive line would play like this. And then they've turned Jonathan Taylor into just another guy. And we've talked about this. He's not just another guy. He's a stud. But they made him look like just a guy. And maybe Sam, his mobility and getting outside the pocket, and he can help the run game. Maybe that's going to help. But until the offensive line gets its act together, it's hard to see this team doing much of anything.
I've said that the entire time, and Mike Chappel joins us, that it's the only way this is going to work is if the offensive line plays better. And the problem you have with that is we're going to see a dude, Mike, coming up on Sunday, and I screamed and yelled and whined and cried and do what I normally do here on this show from 3 till 6 about Charles Leno Jr.
Yeah.
And that was not prioritized. They went a different direction. That guy is solid, maybe not spectacular, but solid, taking over for Trent Williams, and the Colts are left with, this, revolving door of dudes this season that Chris Ballard completely screwed the pooch on.
And what's worse, and what's going to point out even more, is they're putting Tarek Glenn in the Ring of Honor on Sunday. one of the greatest Colts and a left tackle that you just would kill for. And maybe he can come out and play some more. I'm sure he's not exactly in football shape. But, yeah, it's and again, that's going to be one of the things, again, that you have to deal with in the offseason is left tackle. And I still think you can sort of make do at right guard, which that's been a problem too. You can't make do at left tackle. You can't hide a weakness at left tackle. And you're right. There's a lot of people, lobbying for Leno, and instead they didn't go that way. And here they are.
Here they are. All right. So I think we both. Well, I'm going to gauge her, and hopefully this is a Disney movie or a Disney script, and things work out, and we don't have to go here. But listen, this is the Colts. When's the last time we had a Disney script around here? Really, for any sports around here. When's the last time?
Jim Harbaugh taking them to the AFC Championship game in 1995, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing Disney-worthy we've seen certainly in a while that surprises everybody. But I would have to ask you this. I think we both are on the same page as far as Frank Reich, ultimately at the end of a disappointing year, ultra-disappointing year, being on the hook. And I think we both thought that Chris Ballard wouldn't be there too. But is Chris Ballard kind of moved on that bubble with the chain of events that are happening and that still could happen here at the end of the year?
Kind of hope not. And I hope it doesn't happen to Frank. I think he's done a good job. The quarterback thing has really hamstrung him, and everybody's got their hand in that. Keep in mind, everybody embraced Matt Ryan. They had to be talked into Carson Wentz, but everybody embraced Matt Ryan, so everybody's got their hand in it. It's a bottom line business, and Frank went out of his way, and I understand that they've won more than they've lost here, and it's been with 5 different quarterbacks going on 6, and they've overachieved at some level, but still, the playoffs hasn't been what they've needed. One playoff win, so boy, would Jimmy just totally blow it up? I don't know. I hope not, because I hate to see guys unemployed. I've been around a long time, and I just hate to see it, and it's awkward to talk about, but I don't know how they stay the same. I don't know what could happen to make them stay status quo going into the off season. Now, whether that's the coach and the GM or whether it's one or I don't know, but it's pretty easy to say that something is going to change, and it depends on what your something, how much something you want that to be.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't. If Frank goes, Chris deserves to go too. I don't want to see anybody fired. I'm not that type of dude. But if Frank ends up going, Chris is the one that put this together, and the building blocks of this team on the offensive side, what he put together, what he believed in, his blueprint, it's failed miserably, and there's no way around that. So I'm sure that's for future days, but that's what I'm kind of thinking about right here as far as the future of this team and if those decisions have to be made. Hey, Mike, before I let you go, 90%, as I had heard, I guess, Jim Irsay's decision on this quarterback change?
Only 90?
Well, I was giving a little bit of fairness to the general manager and the coach, but yes, you're right.
I'd love to know. I'd love to know how the dynamics were. I don't think Frank would have made this move. And again, you get the injury, which messes it up. But I don't think there's a chance at all that Frank was in favor of turning away from Ryan just because his job's on the line, for crying out loud. This is one of those where the owner had input. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I hope we don't, and I don't think he will, to get too hands-on, but this was one where he just thought that he had at some level to intervene, and here we are.
That's not good, though. Would you agree? I mean, the whole Scooby-Doo meddling kids approach, that's not good.
No, it's not. It's not. Because we've seen, for the most part, he's not done that. Now, he did
right.
with Carson Wentz. He did with Carson Wentz.
Well, he did it with Frank Reich. He did it with the head coach. I mean, he took the information from those that he firmly trusted the most, and then made that informed decision on that coach. That was him. But this was his decision to go to Ryan. I mean, he put the mandate down to make the change from Wentz and go to Ryan. I mean, this is becoming pretty familiar, right, with him coming down with those decisions.
The fact has been twice in less than, January. And I think that's probably showing his impatience with things. Although, keep in mind, again, he was fully embracing Ryan as well. No one had to sell anybody on Matt Ryan. So that's why, again, it's as much of what's happened around Ryan as Ryan.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it before. The only way I can characterize the move to Ellinger is desperation, because, like you pointed out, you couldn't keep doing what you're doing, and that's why, to some level, Matt Ryan sort of forced the issue with 2 more interceptions and a pick six. I tell you, when a defense holds a team to 4 field goals, and you lose by 9 points, that's it. You just can't have that. So yeah, it's not good to have an owner too hands on. But I think this just showed you that his frustration level. I tell you, if they didn't win in Denver in overtime, this might have happened earlier.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just, as much as we both like Jim Irsay a great deal, there's no doubt about that. It's not worked out. It's not worked out. You hire somebody and let those people handle it, and then if you don't think they can handle it any longer, you got to do something about it. Which I think clearly with some of these actions, that's the point at which he is right now. So,
well, and again, like I said, we got 10 games to go, and it could go in different directions. I'm hopeful, but not optimistic on the quarterback change, only because history says it seldom works, especially when the people around you aren't working. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'll put it that way.
Hey, if you were here right now, I'd get you drunk and you'd feel a lot better.
Yeah, I tell you, to make me feel better, come over and mulch my leaves on my rental property. I can't.
I've done it twice already.
I can't.
I've done it twice.
I normally do that, but I can't get there until Saturday, and I'm going to be up to my ass in leaves. It's going to take me 2 hours to mulch part of my lawn, and
part of the problem is it's been so dry, and then you get that day of rain. And they all come down at once, man. I mean, there's no progression to it. They all come down at once.
You know, there's a remedy for this, and I've been telling my wife we need to pay $1,000 and have these 2 trees taken down. Because
man, you got to have trees, man. Trees are good.
Trees. Yeah, they're good. Come over and mulch my leaves, and then I'll tell you how good they are.
Y'all see where I grew up, man. My mom still lives. There's not. It's all trees. She got 40 acres, basically 40 acres, 38 of which she's not seen in 30 years, right? So butts up against Crane, and that's all it is leaves, man. That's it. So anyway, all right, buddy. I appreciate you. I'll see you down there coming up on Sunday afternoon.
See you Sunday.
So Mike Chappel at CBS 4 and Fox 59. Harris Hoosier Park race of the day. We're live with the Slippery Noodle, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Is it yay or nay for snow this winter? You might want to hold your horses, but not those horses. Yes, the Colts. Tonight I'll take a look at weather data from the past decade to forecast how much snow we'll get and how that ties in with the Colts' performance. Tonight at 11.
Everybody's talking about So Help Me Todd.
Must be nice to be perfect.
It's exhausting.
A new So Help Me Todd, tonight after Goes on CBS.
Hey, Sean, for Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers. Shout out to Eric Wilson. Who out there is looking for a new set of wheels? Ooh, have you seen the collection of rides from GMC and Buick? Indeed. If you haven't, you need to. You can check it out, but I will tell you this. If you're looking for really just a completely hassle-free car buying experience with the price tag, with the service after the sale, with the best to deal with, just contact my friend Eric Wilson. Get those wheels in motion on those new set of wheels. At Indiana's best, Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37. It's in Fishers.
A new season, a new QB, a new look. Football is back. And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV beginning at 3 for Cold Bud Lights, Colts football talk, and your chance to win tickets to Colts games.
Hey, it's JMV. Join me Friday at Whiskey Business for your chance at Commanders tickets.
JMV, Bud Light, and you. Doing it for the shoe.
I'll see you Friday at Whiskey Business.
Hey, quick shout out to Love Heating and Air Conditioning. That's John and Chris Love. Hey, listen, Kurt came out because I had like a humidifier that was malfunctioning. And Kurt came out and got that bad boy fixed up, too, and gave my system a checkup. Yours probably would need that as well. 317-353-2141. Call John and Chris Love today and make sure that you get the job done right, because we're going to get in on those cooler temperatures. We're going to get in on the winter. You're going to make sure that your system's working efficiently. That's Love Heating and Air. 317-353-2141. They're the absolute best. 317-353-2141 for that checkup today online. Love-HVAC.com.
Hockey's even more exciting with the Bet Rivers Sportsbook app. Score big with same-game parlays where you can combine different bets from the same game, like the money line, check, puck line, check, and player props, check. Plus, with award-winning customer service, you'll never miss a shift. Download the Bet Rivers Sportsbook app on iOS and Android. It's a whole new game.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Indiana only. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks, whatever your preference. They have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree man-sized drafts. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hi, false start. John here for Aurora Specialty Sleep Clinic. You know, I struggled with snoring. I did. But it took a couple of former Hoosier basketballers, Steve Green and Brian Evans, to show me the way. I had my bed rest consistently hijacked because of snoring. Seriously. What they did, they set me up with a simple and affordable, comfortable mouthpiece. I wear it at night, and my snoring is gonzo. Thanks to Aurora Specialty Sleep Clinic. Now, if you or somebody you know struggles with snoring and you're not getting that proper bed rest, let's do something about it. StopYourSnoreNow.com. Tell them I sent you. Get that private consultation today. StopYourSnoreNow.com.
BSN Sports and their employees take pride in being active members of our community. Nothing more important to BSN than focusing on serving school administrators, coaches, athletic directors who impact more lives in a year than most do in a lifetime. That's why BSN Sports and its partners, Nike and Under Armour, gave away more than $1 million last year to Indiana partner schools. Join us on tomorrow's show. We'll spotlight schools that are building the future leaders of our community through education-based athletics. Follow BSN Sports on Twitter at BSN Sports_Indy. BSN Sports at the heart of the game.
The Sundown Gardens Big Fall Sale has now been extended through Halloween. Annuals including mums, fall yard art, and pumpkins all 50% off now through Halloween. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road.
The Ride with JMV.
Can I buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Love it. There you go. Live at the legendary Slippery Noodle. Varsity Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. It's a Thursday. It has been fantastic. Coming up, we've got the Hoosier Park race of the day. Brent Halverson rejoins us right here. All right, Brent, we got a special guest before we hit a break again.
We do, John.
Who we got?
Absolute pleasure during a little break there to step out and talk to some great people out here.
Yeah.
And I met Bobo. Bobo and his beautiful
in the house. Hello, Bobo.
And Lawan, and the beautiful Lawan in the back here. They're in town from Maryland, John. They're in town for the Commander game.
Yes. I actually live from the DMV. I'm across the street from Six Flags, which is about 3 minutes away from FedEx Field where the Commanders play now.
That's awesome.
Six Flags. Yeah. What's the lineup choice?
You're out right now on speaker, John. So he was saying that it is twice. This doesn't happen to him often, so this is kind of where we're in uncharted territory here.
Okay.
What am I doing here,
number
dude?
one, awesome that you guys are in town. Welcome to Indianapolis, first off, man. I mean, I had the pleasure of talking to them, John. They're outstanding people. They were enjoying some Lumazul tequila. Did you like that? Isn't that good,
I enjoyed it. I'm going to drink the Lumazul tequila the rest of the weekend.
There we go.
So you're hanging here the entire weekend and going to the game on Sunday?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on what we're going to see?
I'm expecting a good game. You got a rookie quarterback or a non-starting quarterback against a front four of Washington that is awesome. If he can get the ball away, he'll be pretty good, I think. But the question is going to be is how fast and how good he can get the ball away, because the front four is the best part of the
Alan Payne, who's the best?
I'm an Alan Sweat guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Until Chase come back.
Well, I mean, I think the Colts had an opportunity to draft Montez Sweat when he came out of Mississippi State. They traded back.
Sweat will be on his numbers today, Sunday.
Bobo, you're staying here the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
You got to stay close to Brent Halverson because he can get you hooked up right there. You know what I mean?
Will do.
Man, I appreciate you. What do you listen to in the district?
I listen to a lot of different. The Fan is one of my favorite shows, but there are several fans.
Yeah.
So I have gotten your show. I'm going to watch your show. I'm going to listen to your show. I took Brent's picks for the weekend.
You did. You came up.
Sure did. I came up here and got
mine.
Yeah.
Because you heard that 47% stuff is what you heard.
So I will be a part of the Fan from Indianapolis for a while now.
That's awesome, man. We're welcome again. It's
Bobo.
a great city to enjoy.
Hey,
so
shout out to Bobo up here.
Yes.
Bobo.
And Lawan back there. Lawan. The beautiful Lawan.
Yes.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Quick break. The Harris Hoosier Park race of the day is next.
All righty.
Take the next step in your construction career by becoming a union carpenter.
Some of the best pay in the industry.
Amazing health and retirement benefits.
Ongoing cutting-edge training.
Creating my own career path so I can do what I love.
High safety standards.
Great employment opportunities. Why will you join the Carpenters Union? Join the 75,000 men and women in Indiana who build our communities. For more information, visit the Construction Industry Partnership at indianacip.com.
Hey, Sean here for Heaven Hill Distillery, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots every single week, including the Tavern Tour stop, which is today as well. It is Heaven Hill Distillery, and we do this every single Thursday. We'll do it again for week number 9. Me, Brent Halverson, with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Why do I like being a jewelry consultant at Shane Company? It's fun. I get to talk with everyone, people from all walks of life. Whatever you've got going on, a birthday, anniversary, new baby, or just because, fine jewelry is an awesome gift to give. And we have something unique in every price range, backed up with a free lifetime warranty. At Shane Company, we take every step to ensure that our jewelry is the highest quality. And we continually improve our styles, even the classics, like our diamond stud earrings. Ours are simply the best pair of studs in town. The diamonds are stunning, hand-selected for their beauty and hand-matched for consistency. We have studs in every price range, different metals, and 4 diamond shapes to choose from. The classic round shape, an oval shape, princess cut, and cushion cut. We even pay attention to the earring backs to make sure they're extra secure. Visit us for a lasting, memorable gift.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, shouting for Love Heating and Air Conditioning. I'm telling you, make sure your system's good to go for the colder months ahead. Get it checked up. And again, a shout out because I had Kurt out from Love Heating and Air the other day. Set me up as usual. John and Chris Love, the best. You know you're going to get the best service around here, and you know that your system is going to be good to go to keep you warm and comfortable in your home as it gets colder and colder as we move along into the later fall and then into the winter. 317-353-2141. That's love-hvac.com today.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Here's your Harris Hoosier Park race of the day, 50-50 betting and dining to the winner. Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. Here's who's in on it. Ted Demos, Kim Becker, JR, Craig, Pete, Sue Johnson. There's Music Mac at number 7 right there. Here it is, 50-50 betting and dining to the winner. Harris Hoosier Park race of the day. Good luck.
The following is presented by the Indiana Standard Bred Breed Development Program. From Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino, it's time for the Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
They are up. Good beginning for Bluebird Alibi. Beautiful lights to the inside. From the outside, it's Fated Fire moving up. Then She Is Hungry with Risky Reputation 5th. Silver Shoe Helly is 6th. Starbar and Telcadia are the trailing twosome as they bank onto that first turn. And the leader is Bluebird Alibi. Up on the outside comes Fated Fire, and they're right together by the quarter in 28-1. And Fated Fire now on to take the lead. Bluebird Alibi is back to second, and then it's Beautiful Light. She Is Hungry is 4th, racing 5th, Risky Reputation. Silver Shoe Halley is 6th and about 7 lengths off the lead. Then it's Star Bar, and the trailer is Telcadia. And going by once again to take the lead is Bluebird Alibi. Bluebird Alibi goes by Fated Fire and has it as they come to the half-mile pole. Risky Reputation is taken to the outside of Beautiful Lights by the half in 58-4, 30-3 the second quarter. Racing 5th is She Is Hungry, and then the next pair are Silver Shoe Halley and Star Bar with Telcadia trailing the field on the far turn. Bluebird Alibi's got a 2.5 length lead. Risky Reputation motoring up on the outside second, and Fated Fire is third. Then it's Beautiful Lights 4th. Outside of that is She Is Hungry. Next are Star Bar and Silver Shoe Haley with Telcadia trailing the field. 3 quarters up in 1:27-4. 29 seconds the third quarter. Bluebird Alibi there, a length and a half. Risky Reputation now guided to the outside by LaWayne Miller to try and come on and challenge. The rest are far back. Bluebird Alibi in front. Here comes Risky Reputation on the outside now, and Risky Reputation has taken the lead in deep stretch. Bluebird Alibi back to second, and then third is Beautiful Lights. It is Risky Reputation to win it. Bluebird Alibi second, then Beautiful Lights and Star Bar 156-2.
Just minutes from Indy off I-69 and Anderson, Harris Hoosier Park has live standard bred horse racing through December 10th, thanks in part to the Indiana Standard Bred Breed Development Program. And keep listening for your chance to win with the Harris Hoosier Park Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Got a monster for you tomorrow. KB joins talking Colts. Sam Ellinger, of course, Hammer, and Danny Plezak getting you ready for the World Series that starts tomorrow night. Join us noon to 3.
The Ride with JMV.
Awesome! Totally awesome! All right, Hamilton.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Your Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day winner, 50-50 VIP prize pack. Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson was Pete. Risky Reputation sounds familiar. The win, $15. The place, $7. The show was $5.40. Bluebird Alibi placed at $7.40, showed at $5. Star Bar showed at $7.60 today, and the $2 exacta payout went for $77. But the 50-cent trifecta payout, $331.90. There it is, your Harris Hoosier Park race of the day, live at the legendary Slippery Noodle. Awesome crowd, awesome time for what has been a Week 8 Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Brent Halverson rejoins us. This is from my man Steve Duke. Danny Hayes and Steve Duke may need a bourbon after they get out of the field in Burgersville. They're in a combine right now. Big-time farmers, because we're talking about the future farmers of America in here right now with a convention in town. But Steve Duke, a friend of mine, Mike Duke, the Duke family, great folks down in Burgersville, are doing some farm work in the field right now in a combine. Listen to the show.
Big shout out to the Dukes. I mean, thank you for all the farming. They're providing everybody with.
Got to get them some bourbon. Yeah,
hey, we got bourbon for you guys. So I'll tell you what. Via JMV, I will pass a couple bottles to the Duke family down there once they get done harvesting and doing all their good stuff. And again, big shout out to all the future farmers of America that are here. Everybody that came out for the show. You guys rock. I mean, thank you guys for everything. Love it. That's awesome. Hey, John, and how good is it to be back in the Slippery Noodle, right? This is one of the greats. We love being here. See Cappy, see all the whole crew. We're going to be back here on December 22nd, but next week we will be at Parks Place Pub again. Our friends Mr. Schleter and Whitlow up in Fishers. We're at Parks Place on the 3rd. So,
all right, tavern tour stop. Are we going to announce that? Are we ready to do that for November?
You know what? We should let the cat out of the bag because I'm kind of excited about this one, John. All right, so November 17th will be the next tavern tour. It's a duo, so it's a tavern tour stop, and it is also a Larceny Lock Loozle shot show, and it is going to be at the Bulldog.
The Bulldog.
The Bulldog. Talk about an old school coming back. Right? The old Mo and Johnny's in Broad Ripple is the Bulldog now. I was there last night. I had a couple drinks. It is outstanding, and I can't wait to get you in there because it'll blow your mind if you've not been there yet, my man.
Hey, Bulldog.
Hey, that's coming up. That's down the road. So Parks Place next week, we'll do it there.
Everybody, Marty's here.
Uh-oh.
Marty.
Hey.
Hey, Marty, would you whip somebody's ass before I leave tonight?
Again? I love you, man.
All right, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Brent, great job out of you.
Thank you.
Hey, Cam, great job. I'm sorry I unplugged myself like 2 different times today.
That was interesting.
What I'm doing here.
Look at that. You picked up quickly, though. Big thanks to, look at the man's running the table over there. Billy's running the show.
Kyle, shout out to you. Bud Light Blue Fridays tomorrow. We're in Lawrence tomorrow. Pendleton Pike. Whiskey Business. I got Commanders Colts tickets for you coming up tomorrow. You guys are fantastic inside the lounge via YouTube Live as well. Talk to you tomorrow at Whiskey Business, Lawrence, Pendleton Pike. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Put on your helmet.